User joined your channel.
I think it's finally going to let me in now.
User joined your channel.
Yeah, it looks good.
I see your I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You got over there, right? Like somewhere over there, and then
Yes. It spawned to be
disappeared.
like over here, then fucking weird. All right, let's go. Where you guys over here?
Yep.
All right. Is the box over there?
The box is in there.
Okay.
Use no over here. Use one in that door, the first door to your left.
Got you.
Security on said vehicles, different mounts and excuse me, different dismounts of said vehicles. How to deal with a convoy, setting it up, convoy nets, route call-ins, combat call-ins. The route call-in would be like turns, speeds, halts, just like if you were doing a route and in formation. And then combat call-ins would be such as like an IED or spot report or 3Ds. So, this could be a lot of information thrown at y'all again. So Private Dunn was team lead last time. Private McAllen, you're gonna be team lead today.
Roger that, Sergeant.
So before we get any class teaching going on here, I want y'all to get over to the supply sergeant, get kitted out. Obviously you're gonna be team lead, McAllen, Private Dunn. I want you to kit out as an AR. And do your pre-combat checks. Y'all can get in pre-combat formation and do your checks. So, alright, let's make it happen.
Roger that, Sergeant.
Yeah, there, Private McAllen. Make sure you go condition 4. Pull that bag out, store it
Turnovers.
in your vest.
You know, we had a game where
So, kneel down, Private McAllen. Do this in formation. There you go.
Sorry, I was working on my radio.
Yep. Yeah, you want to do all that if we're in a practice or FTX situation like we are now, training. And it's not a live fire, we're not dealing with hostiles, we're not, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not deployed. Need to be conditioned for. So get up on him, Private Dunn. Yep, there you go. As close as you can. We don't build strangers here, we build fucking brotherhood. All right, Private McAllen, if you're ready for comms, you don't have to wait for him. You can do comms check with actual and get that over with.
Actual, this is Alpha Radio Chicken 100, over.
Alpha, this. Oh. Alright, someone needs to square that shit away.
Yeah, that's probably me, Sergeant. 1 second.
Actual, this is Alpha. Radio check on frequency 100. Over.
Alpha, this is Actual. I have you Lima Charlie on frequency 100. Over.
Actual to Alpha. Roger. Out. Done. This is Alpha. Radio check on frequency 100.1. Over.
Pretty sure that was not .1. You on .1, probably done, but
Yeah.
probably McAllen was not on .1.
Done. This is Alpha. Radio check on frequency 100.1. Over.
McGowan, this is done. I got you Lima Charlie on frequency 100.1. Over.
Done. This is Alpha. Roger. Out.
Fucking spectacular. Put
Hey,
a
Dan,
smile on
we're-
my face.
We'll go through the inventory real quick for Alpha. We got map tools, NVGs in the backpack, cable tie times earplugs, ammo, smokes, stun grenades, frag grenades as required, compass, watch, radio, micro dagger, map, helmet, glasses, Victor.
Yeah, I
21.
got. I just looked in my backpack. I got the 200.
Private McAllen.
Yes, sir.
We're not shooting anything, so make sure you put that magazine into your backpack and not your rifle.
Copy that, same Sergeant. Pretty sure
Yep.
Sergeant Marjad already mentioned that before. I just wasn't picking up on it. What are you saying? You good, done?
Got a question.
You have a question for me or Alpha?
Yes, sir.
Not a sir. But yep, send your question.
Shouldn't I have a 100-round belt on my person?
Yes, you should.
Okay, I got to get that fixed. Only got the 200-round belt.
All right. Well, we.
I'll take that back. I have it in my bed.
All right. Well, yeah. If you need to fix something, you can do it after class. But. So I believe Alpha had a question for you. Probably done. I don't know if you answered it. What?
Yeah, just last thing. Stick those NVGs in your backpack.
Don't look like a pretty unicorn.
You good to go, done?
Good to go.
All right, Sergeant Marjada. Alpha team's ready to go.
Fucking excellent. Outstanding. That's how it should be. Every time, gentlemen. Fucking quick, fast, proper. Very minor fuck ups. I'm happy. Alright. Now the fun begins. Let's make our way over to the classroom. To y'all's left, my right. Fallout in the front row, preferably next to each other. And let's get this day started.
Let's think rifles at the same time as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
My fat ass can't fit between those seats. So, you're gonna have to fucking play Houdini. Alright, everybody can hear me at this point?
Affirm, Sergeant.
Confirm, Sergeant.
Excellent. Always have problems with this.
I got it, no worries.
Thank you. Alright, yep. So, fundamentals of land nav. Something I personally enjoy here. So, you look on your maps and you see the horizontal horizontal and vertical lines. The horizontal, which is left to right, that is your easting lines, and your vertical lines are your northing lines. Exactly how you read a grid ref off your map. Left to right, bottom to top. Any questions on those two things?
Negative, Sergeant.
Negative, Sergeant.
All right. Next one, please, Sergeant. All right, so today we're going to go over how to figure out a 4, 6, and 8-digit grid ref. A 4-digit will get you 1,000 meters squared. Well, probably 1,000 meters, squared, excuse me. Area to pinpoint. So if you do call in a 4-digit grid reference, the closest you can give somebody accuracy to that object or person is 1,000 meters. So pretty shitty. So we can do better than that. So let's step it up and do a 6-digit grid ref, where 6-digit will get a 100 meters squared. So we're doing pretty good on that. So we just shrunk it from 1,000 to 100 meters. It takes a little bit more time to figure it out, but you can get down to an 8-meter grid ref, which will take down the pinpoint to 10 meters square, which is a hell of a lot easier to find somebody or something 10 meters than it would be 100 or 1,000 meters. So if y'all would open y'all's map up, a 4-digit grid ref will have double digits on top, bottom, and left and right. So right now you should kind of be popped up over the Camp Currahee area, which is boxed in by the green. Yep. So if we were looking at the northwest gate here, and we were at a 4-digit grid ref distance, that means this box here is 1,000 meters by 1,000 meters. So if that's all you could do, it would be grid ref 1416. Does everybody see that?
Affirm, Sergeant.
All right. So if you look on the bottom also, you have your contour interval elevation meters. That's something we're going to go over in a little while. But then you have your distance ruler there. It actually shows only 500 meters. But if you look how it is, it's only halfway across that grid ref. So you need a whole another 500 meters to make that happen. So that's 1,000 meter distance. So, all right. So we know that the northwest gate is somewheres in grid ref 1416. Somewheres in 1,000 meters at that area. Well, that's not fucking good. So let's scroll it in. And now we have 3 numbers on top and 3 numbers left and right. So that's going to get us a little bit better. That's going to get us 100 meters in that area. So if we're still focusing on that northwest gate here, the grid ref would be 142164. And you can also see, since you scrolled in to that 6-digit grid ref, the meters have now shrunk down to 100 meters for that grid square. Now, you can keep scrolling in and you don't get any closer. That's it. It'll change the meters in which your measuring device is, but that doesn't help you with getting a 8-digit grid ref. Now, since I probably don't have my tool, and I don't, I'm going to wing it here. So that would be roughly half of that grid square. And oh, second. And that would be roughly half of the grid square. So we want to find an 8-digit of this northwest gate. Like I said, that'll take us down to a 10-meter square area to locate that. Because we want to be fast and efficient. You know, us being light infantry, being fast is one of our greatest assets. So if we have to search for something in 10-meter spacing instead of 100 or 1,000, that's gonna unfuck our situation and make our situation better. But I regress. All right. So we want to find an 8-digit grid ref for this gate. You're going to start with your grid ref 142. And since this line, that vertical line there is your 142 line, if you bring that line here, that's going to be, we'll say, 2. So we just got our 4th number out of an 8-number grid ref. Now, our next line is going to be the 164 grid ref. So we're going to bring it up to here. Excuse me. So this grid ref here of this gate would be grid reference 1422 1643. So the 4th and 8th number is the broken down of that grid into 1/10. Everybody tracking on it?
Roger that, Sergeant.
Excellent.
Sergeant.
Send it, Sergeant.
No, I was just saying.
Oh.
Tracking.
Copy. All right, so let me find something because y'all said y'all got it, so I want you to prove it to me. All right, Private Don, go to the east about 600 meters and give me the 8-digit grid ref of the south gate.
Sorry, I'm over here talking to myself and I'm pressing my button. 149, and I said I had it. 149 and 163, but you want the 8 digit, correct?
Correct, but you gave me the wrong 6-digit grid ref. 149 was correct, but you gave me the grid square right above it. Yep. So 149 here. Remember, left to right, bottom to top. So you gave me this grid ref, this grid square, 149, 163. This is the one I want, which is 149.
I'm just being stupid right now. 149 to 162.
Correct. And what is the 8-digit for that south gate?
It'd be 1492.
No.
149 163.
Nope.
I
So
should have said I don't do it. thought I had it.
That's why I'm double checking. All right, so this line here that I am on, put a line. That is the line you're dealing with right now. So that's 149. So I told you wrong. It's northern first and easting. It's that was my mistake. But y'all are catching it. So that's good. So 149 is what you're dealing with right now. Now imagine this line over here. Can you see the crosshairs? Or just around? No, you can't see the crosshairs. So imagine this line here. Put it there for you. Just
Okay,
imagine
I
that.
see what you're saying. Okay, so it'd be 1495, and then it would be 1635.
Nope, you're still too high. You need to be.
Oh.
Yeah, you're giving me the grid ref for this up here.
1625.
No. It's gonna be one. You were right on the first half. 149.5. Now you need to give me what this is. So you start off with
1628.
Yeah, I'll take that. 8, 9.
I see what you're saying now. I think I was obviously looking at 63, and I'm looking up, as in it goes 163 and then 164, and I'm giving you half of that, so it.
Right, you're giving me grid ref up top here.
And I'm not paying attention because 162
is down here. This is where we want to give a grid ref. So the grid ref for this area would be 1495, 1628. And you give somebody that, and that'll get them within this area. All right, you let that melt into your brain. Prophet McAllen, give me the grid ref for the northeast gate. If you go.
Copy that already, got it, Sergeant.
Well, all right. Throw it at me.
1530, break 1753.
All right, yep. I like it. All right, go north of the south gate. Private done. And you're going to see a radio tower right here. I want you to give me the grid ref. 8-digit of that.
Roger. It will be 1527 1708. Yeah.
It'd be more 1707.
Okay.
10. You know.
1707. Copy that.
Yeah, 8 would be like way over there.
Right.
But that's close enough. You getting the idea.
But in that case, Sergeant, he's actually going from bottom to top. So either 08 or 09 is pretty close, because when you put your marker down there on the easterly line, it was still east of that northern line, right? So him saying 1707 or 08 would be correct, 8 or 9.
Yeah, well, he's going
right from bottom to top, not left to right.
Telling us.
Well, yeah. Well, I kind of foobarred what I was telling you earlier. You want to go from your northern line here, read that away, and then your bottom line, read up. I told you backwards.
Sergeant.
Yeah. Yep. So like you said, it was
correct the way I said it on that second run, correct?
Right, but you were close. I mean, depending on how people decipher it on their own, they could be off also. You know, that's what map tools help you out. If you got a map tool with you, you can do Control and Windows, and they got self actions, and you can bring up a map tool, and that lines up with the grid square, and then you can tick off your 1/10 hashes on there to get really fucking close. But I just wanted to make sure that you know or semi-understand an 8-digit grid reference. If you can do that, then you understand a 6 and 4-digit grid ref. So you'll learn more, because chances are when you get billeted, at some point you are going to go over land nav, where they take away your micro dagger and radios and drop you off with just your fucking vectors, compass and map tools, and you got to find your way. So it's pretty fun. All right, Sergeant, next one, please. All right, so we have multiple map colors. We have gray, which indicates man-made features, buildings predominantly. Blue is water. Brown identifies all relief features and elevation. Green is vegetation with military certificates. Red is railroads. Black could be your grid lines and or power lines. That's a major thing for our pilots. Thick orange lines are MSRs, or main supply routes. Those are paved highways with lines and stripes and, you know, fucking paved roads. Medium, thick yellow lines are ASRs. Those are the nicer of the dirt roads. Compared to the hollow lines are going to be your really backwoods roads, where they have the 2 ruts where the tire marks are, with the build-up ground in the middle. Something similar to if you go off-roading. Any questions on that, gentlemen?
Negative, Sergeant.
Negative.
Excellent. Next one, please, Sergeant. All right, if y'all open your map, let's see. Let's do a grid ref of 0, 9er, 1, 9er. And we can scroll in there. So you have elevation contour lines here. That's your brown and red lines. Now, if you scroll in so much to where it says contour interval 2 meters, and you're looking, this, between this red line and this red line, you have your brown lines. Now from here to here, it's going to be 2 meters. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So between this red line and this red line, you have a 10-meter drop in elevation. And if you had to, you can figure out the distance from up here to down here in this valley. But with our wonderful fucking vectors and micro daggers, you have no need to do that. The only reason you have is to look at these contour lines and see how tightly packed they are. So between this elevation of 274 and down in this fucking valley, it's pretty steep. Because you're like, what, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So you're 130 meters higher. So that's a hell of a climb within fucking 200-meter space distance. 300s. So, got to keep that in mind when you're planning routes for your guys. You want to try not to take them directly up slope because you're going to be dragging ass. You're going to lose time because you're dragging ass. And yeah, that's basically it. You just want to watch your elevations because if you start getting in contact, it's slow going, moving uphill. So you don't want to get caught on a fucking hillside, especially on a steep hillside. Next is these random numbers all over the place. They're not random. They are hilltop elevations above sea level. So it's telling you right here, this radio antenna is on top of that hill, and that hill is 266 meters above sea level. This is 270, 274. So it gives you an idea of the surrounding terrain, its height. That'd be good to get recon out on an AO if it's close by. So you know that the terrain is higher than your possible target, so you can use that as a quick recon stop. Also, we use these numbers to designate hilltops just for reference points when you are talking and laying out a plan. Just to give them a quick reference, you can tell them it's on hilltop 277 or whatnot, and it's a quick reference. Even if it's like an RP, you know, a hasty rally point, you can just call that out and have all you guys rally up, or team, squads, platoon rally up on that position in case shit hits the fan, or if the shit is hitting the fan. Any questions?
Negative, Sergeant.
All right, next one, please, Sergeant. All right, so we're going to go over some major and minor terrain features, and also how to use them against the enemy, so use them to our benefit and not their benefit. Obviously, our benefit is their benefit, so if we don't use it like that, chances are the enemy can use it against us. So I'm just going to go over the pluses of it. You would safely assume any plus I give is going to be a fucking negative if the enemy uses it correctly. All right, Sergeant, next. All right, so a hilltop, if you still reference your map, the area here is your hilltop 273, 277. That is the hilltop. Now you can see where this base is built on top of the hilltop because it gives you great eyes in multiple direction. Which is good if you're not going up there to fucking camp and socialize. You want to use the hilltop discreetly, quick, fast, in a hurry. You want to get up there, do your recon business, and fucking start moving. Reasons for that are you can start skylining, which is you're standing above any background, which means you're fucking lit up against the sky, and that's pretty easy to see even from a good click out, which is 1,000 meters. So you want to watch skylining on a hilltop. If you have to get to the edge, you want to go prone and crawl to the edge and get eyes out. Also, catching the enemy off guard up there. If you do a couple of over here using fucking draws as cover, and you move up on the enemy on multiple sides, they really have nowhere to go. Chances are the only way they can escape is getting a extract from the helo. So that's another reason why you don't want to just fucking have a picnic on top of hilltop. Get your job done, get your recon out on the AO. And not only the AO, but your route to the AO. You know, take every advantage of that elevation. Any questions on the hill?
Negative, Sergeant.
Excellent. All right, Sergeant Smith, next one, please. All right, Ridgeline. So Ridgeline as follows. You have so that would be a ridgeline. It's a little hard to see just because these hilltops are not extremely different in elevation from each other, but that is a ridgeline. Now, ridgeline is great to use to hide yourself from movement. If you happen to be moving on one side of the hill, ridgeline, in any direction that you may need to go, and if you happen to start taking fire from down here in the valley or up high over here on other ridgelines, you can easily get your troops over using a saddle, which we'll go over in a little while, and you can get them behind defilade on the other side. So you don't want to travel downhill low on a hillside. You want to travel up high on defilade, but not skylining from that side. So you want to have your head just below defilade of the ridgeline. So you're close enough up high that if you have contact from that side, you can fucking shuffle your troops over the other side of ridgeline and get them behind hard cover, which is fucking defilade. It's not going to be a fucking building that's going to fall down on top of you. It's good, hard, solid ground. So that is the plus of that. Like I said, don't fucking have your guys halfway down the hillside using this fucking ridgeline as cover. Because you start taking contact from this direction, fucking which way are you gonna go? Fucking down? That's fucking retarded because you're going down to a valley, and that's like the ultimate fucking kill box. Or are you gonna push up? Well, you can do that, but remember how fucking steep this hillside is. It's gonna take you forever to get up, and by the time you get your guys up and over defilade, chances are your fucking squad or platoon will be fucking decimated. So there's a lot of things to keep in mind when you're planning a route and you're involved in movement. Any questions, gentlemen?
Negative, Sergeant.
Question for me,
Yep,
Sergeant.
send it.
So if you do get contact, what would be the best way? Like you said, just go kill, or I mean, what would be the?
If you happen to fucking be down on the side of the hill, like much further down you should be.
Right.
Pop smoke. Depends on where you're getting contact from. If it's downhill in a valley, I would pop smoke and try to push. Bounding. So you're gonna do a reaction to contact drill, which is break contact, and you're gonna put down a base of fire, wherever it be a fire team, squad, 2 squads. You put a base of fire down, while the next fire team squad, multiple squads, pull back.
Gotcha.
Once they get to a point, once they get a point here or whatever, they're going to put up a base of fire and allow that element to pull back. You don't want to just fucking...
User in your channel timed out.
Wait one.
User joined your channel.
Alright, so you don't want to have just a mass exodus from the place of contact. That's not going to add to the situation that you're already fucked in. So doing it calmly and efficiently will help mediate fucking losses. Trying to come in, Mac Allen?
It's crazy. I'm still in the game. I'm getting my 80, 90 seconds, but I'm still here listening to you. Sorry.
Oh. Bye-bye.
There it is.
Alright, just listen to this right now. Switch over to the next slide, Sergeant. Private Gillen, can you go retrieve Private McAllen from the spawn point, please? Thank you. All right, so we have our ridge line. Now, a ridge line is made up of multiple hilltops. Now, in between hilltops, you're going to have what's known as saddles. Now, just like I said, when you had to cross the ridge line in case of possible enemy contact on the other side of the ridge line, you have multiple ways you can go. You can either take a saddle to move across the ridge line, or you can go over a fucking hilltop. Well, the ridges are going to be the lowest place in between 2 hilltops. So not having to climb that extra 20, 30, 40 meters helps out a lot. It also expedites your movement across from one side of the ridge line to the other quicker. Not in all instances, particularly like here, the saddle is not much lower than the hilltops. But when you have that huge disparity between hilltops and each other, your saddle is going to be lower, which allows you to have some sort of cover when you go from one side of a ridge line to the other side of the ridge line. So you do get semi-protection to your flanks as long as there's no fucking bad guys sitting on top of the hilltops waiting for you. So that is a plus with saddles. Get you on one side of a ridge line to the other more efficiently than having to climb to the top of a hilltop to cross over. Now, like I said, hilltops combined together make up a ridgeline. Saddles make up that area, that low area between hilltops. And our next one is going to be, I believe, what's our next one going to be, Sergeant? They put a valley in there. All right. It should be a fucking draw because a saddle leads into a draw and then a draw leads into a valley. How are you looking? Probably the Gowan.
Working on it, Sergeant. It's not letting me back into the server, but I'm working on it.
Copy.
Sergeant,
Yep, send it.
could you read back that what you just said? The ridgeline goes to a saddle. What were you saying?
Right, so check on your map. So you have your ridgeline. You're going to have saddles that make up part of your ridgeline. And from your saddles lead to draws. That's what that area is called. See how your lines tuck in? So that's showing you that this is higher ground. This is higher ground. And in the middle of that, in this area here, is a low area. So you can get from a ridge line down into a valley pretty concealed to a point. Everything is to a point, but you can use this saddle and you can go down this draw, and if you had to do, well, going down that draw would not be a good example of that one, but if you had to come over here or come over here and do some kind of assault, you can use this draw here to get down from a ridgeline hilltop down to a saddle with more cover than just fucking running down the side of the hill. You know, I'd rather run down this draw than run down the side of the hill here where I have no fucking cover. So you remember on day 2 we were doing our movement formation. We were going through that little draw in the beginning.
Yes, Sergeant.
Yep. So that's how it's better than just fucking going out with any cover. At least you got hard earth defilade on either side in case the shit hits the fan. That's the same way with moving from a higher elevation point down to a lower elevation point, or vice versa. You had to get out of a valley on foot to higher ground, you can use a draw to get out of the valley. I don't want to go too much further until he gets back in.
Hey, Mark and Navarro. Sorry I didn't see your message earlier, but what's up, man?
My apologies. I've been listening the whole time though.
Yeah, it's kind of, you need to have eyes on. Well, if I got to, I'll go over and then later on with you. All right, so this is a valley down here. Valleys are good for the point of traveling fast. I personally wouldn't travel on foot in a valley. Convoy, yes, because it's a semi-flat ground, so you can travel pretty quick. That's the thing you have with a convoy is speed. You don't want to stop. You don't want to get bogged down because that gives the enemy time to engage you and or set up a possible ambush. So you want to have speed with that. And being in a valley allows you to have speed because you are rolling on a MSR or ASR at the very least. Now, traveling in a valley on foot is highly not recommended. Just because you're down in that kill box, you have really nowhere to go. You can only go forward or backwards in a valley to find cover. I wouldn't. I mean, you have to at some point to eliminate the enemy. You know, if they're shooting at you up here from height and elevation, obviously you can't just stay down there and fucking get massacred. So you pretty much have to fight uphill, which is a pain in the ass. The best thing to do, like if in this situation, there's always an option. It's kind of hard to see when you're fucking on the ground, but when you're looking on a map, you got millions of options where you can set up a base of fire at this building, and in order to take out these targets, you can have your other force come up slope and push through and flank the enemy. So this is very high ground here, just how much you see it protrudes out. So it's going to give cover to the flanking element as they push up, as long as that element does not see them. Because that's the whole point of being able to flank the enemy, is if the enemy that's in contact with the point team does not see the flanking team. You don't have too many options in a valley. Most of the time it leads to fucking heavy fighting until the enemy is completely dispatched, because they usually, if they're fucking smart, would have the high ground or a heavily reinforced combat area like H barriers and or sandbags. So there we go.
My apologies.
All right. Did you catch what I was saying?
I caught up to the valley, Sergeant.
All right. I'll go over that with you. Yeah, fuck it. We'll do it right now. All right. So this is the valley. Look on your map. See, do grid ref 09er, 19er.
Roger that, I see it.
Yep. All right. So being in the valley, you can only either go backwards or forward. If you get ambushed, I mean, like I told them, you can fight uphill. If your team that is going to be used as your maneuver team to flank the enemy is not seen. You can set up a base of fire at this building. And if you had enemies up here firing down at you, you can send your flanking element upslope to come around and flank and push through the enemy. So it sucks being on foot in a valley. It doesn't really leave you much options. Pretty much the option is always fucking fight. Either overwhelming firepower and bound moving up slope, or you can use the flanking maneuver and do that. I don't know how breaking contact will be that efficient in a valley. We're gonna have to pop a lot of smoke to break contact from that area. Valley to be used is for speed. That's convoy. So valley is usually in the lowest part, flat part terrain, so we allows the convoy to move fast. That's what the convoy has is speed, so bottlenecking. Getting down here in this sharp turn, this would be a bad place for us to get ambushed because our big trucks have to slow down going around a turn, and as they slow down, the enemy would have a better shot of taking them out. So if you're down in a valley, you want to fucking move with a purpose. You just don't want to stop repeatedly. You want to get to your fucking dismount point as fast as possible. That's it in a nutshell. Any questions, McAllen?
Negative, Sergeant.
All right. Anything for you? Probably done.
Negative, Sergeant.
All right. Next slide, please, Sergeant. All right. So this is the one that should have been next. Right here is saddle. So as you can see, a saddle will always lead out to a valley. Now all these saddles are mostly located in, these draws are mostly located in saddles. Going down, going up. So if you wanted to, you can use a draw to get from low ground to high ground and high ground to low ground, vice versa. And it allows you to have deflate on either side as you move either up or down slope. I would move your teams almost kind of like in a stagger column instead of committing right down to the very bottom of a draw. I would break up your teams so that could be like Alpha, Bravo, and keep them up high, but still their heads are below defilade. But it allows you to react to contact quicker because you're not down low. You're not going to have to fight upslope as much because you're running on the high side of the draw. So I personally would keep your teams high up and I wouldn't commit them down to the middle of the draw. Any questions on that feature?
Negative, Sergeant.
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright, I believe next one. Sergeant. Alright, so a depression, the closest thing you're gonna get to a depression is multiple hilltops. So this would probably be a good example of a depression. If you look there, that is a hilltop, multiple hilltops making up a ridgeline, and the fucking ridgeline is encircling this area. That's a bad place to be for them, for us. If you happen to have elements push up on hilltops, you know, you can have a fire team per on hilltops and you can fucking wipe out everything that's down there. So you want to be careful about moving or maneuvering through an area like so. If you do find yourself crossing down here and then crossing up over here to, you know, assault something, and you're moving from over here, just be wary of that feature. All right, next slide, please. All right, go to grid ref 0522. All that wonderfulness here is the closest thing I can show you as to a cliff. You're looking at 313 meters, and you drop down to fucking 0 pretty quick. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 700 meters, 800 meters. And you can tell also by all these rock outcrop. So it's rocky, it's hella steep, and it's not a place you want to have your back to. It's a place you want the enemy's back to, because they have nowheres to go except for left or right or straight ahead. So if they have their backs to the flank, I mean to the cliff here, all you need is a small element and you can efficiently corner them and take them out. Unless they do that fucking lone survivor shit and throw themselves off a fucking cliff. They're not fucking going anywheres. Same as for us. If we're fucking not careful and find ourselves like that, it could be fucking detrimental to our safety, to our lives. Next one, Sergeant. Alright, so everybody has their micro daggers, correct?
Affirm, Sergeant.
Negative. You do not have a micro dagger. Probably Gillen, do you mind handing over your micro dagger?
I can give him mine, Sergeant.
Thank you, Sergeant.
No problem.
You need to get that shit fixed. It's gonna be probably done, Sergeant.
Oh, sorry. There you go, Private. I know you like touching me, Sergeant Smith.
Truly
I know
do.
you just gave him a reason to do that. Alright, gentlemen, if you press the hotel key, that will bring up your micro dagger. Is that working for everybody?
Affirm, Sergeant.
Affirmative, Sergeant.
All right. So I would suggest running in this configuration most of the time. If you have this piece of equipment, why not use it? It's not unfair. We use every asset to our advantage to fucking crush the enemy, and this is just one fucking piece of hardware that's very useful to the infantry. Since we're fast moving constantly, fucking bringing it to the fucking enemy hardcore style, it's good to know where all your fucking brothers are at. Your team, your squad, your fucking battle buddy, your Mike, your squad leader. It's just fucking great all the way around. Now you have multiple features on your micro dagger. You have on the very top, you have the in-game time. The bottom left, you have the direction your body is facing. As you turn, your cardinal direction and your bearing changes. Now it does not change if you hold Alt and free look. It stays. It only goes by your body. It also gives you the grid reference that you're standing in. So we're in grid reference 160168. All right. Now hit Control and H, and it will bring it up to full screen so you can interact on it. You can hold down your right mouse button and it moves your screen around on it. You can use your middle mouse button and zoom in, zoom out, all that good stuff. And you have a yellow arrow attached to your mouse cursor. When you drag it around, you have numbers start changing all around. So if I zoom out enough and I see recruit training classroom and I bring that yellow arrow and hover over it, I know it's in grid reference 160169er. It's 14 meters above sea level from me, and it is roughly 100 meters away. And for me personally, I would have to travel 10 degrees north to reach that destination. So it's more than just a fucking indication locator for friendly forces. Now, since I have a Android instead of a micro dagger, I can put this down. Let's see. Moving in a south direction. Everybody see to the northwest that marker I just put down?
Yeah, Affirmative, Sergeant.
Affirmative, Sergeant.
So you're going to see those quite a bit. This number here, the 0929, that's the timestamp of when it's put down. So you can't always go off of that because our reconnaissance could be fucking on the ball, going crazy and throwing down these markers quickly, and they could have multiple markers with the same timestamp. So if you call one of these out, make sure you're calling it out in its designated grid reference. So that would be grid reference 159er, 169er. This happens to be a marker for enemy armor. This arrow pointing down, since it is to the north of us. That's telling us that it's a single piece of armor and it's moving south. So that is something you're going to see a lot during operations and training. I'm not going to go over too much of that because I just don't have a fucking enough time. Any questions?
Negative, Sergeant.
Negative, Sergeant.
Excellent. I believe this is our last one, right, Sergeant?
You can hear me? Yes.
All right. Excellent. So any questions, gentlemen?
One question, Sergeant.
Send it.
When you say during, you can leave this micro dagger up while playing, like you said. You
Yeah,
leave
just
it up.
press hotel key and it'll stay on your bottom left.
Correct. Is it a special way to shrink it down? Because it
Nope.
takes it pretty. Okay. Gotcha.
No, that is it.
Copy.
Yeah, I thought it would be a pain in the ass, but it's great. Because when I first started, I would never run with it up, and I would always throw the compass up real quick to get me a 3Ds. And that's seriously not an effective way to do that. If you keep it up, you already have one of the 3Ds fucking there for you, right in your fucking face. You know, you can at least get everybody looking in that direction. Because you don't have to bring up your compass or anything, you already know. So I'm facing almost direct east right now. So 090. So if I see an enemy contact this direction, all I'd have to say is enemy contact if they're shooting at us. 090. So that automatically gets everybody fucking looking east. And then you can get a good estimation on their range. But at least you have the distance and description. So say it would be enemy fire team moving left or right, bearing 090, or moving upslope or downslope, whatever it may be. So you got 2 out of the 3Ds right there because you have your micro dagger up. And all you would have to do is fucking calculate roughly your distance. And you also have the pointing feature, which is fucking shift tilde. So when somebody's like, huh, where? You just fucking point to them and they'll see them. So I would suggest playing with it up. Just get used to it. All right. That's not all. We're going to move over to the vehicle identification course. So Alpha, get yourself up. Get your team outside.
Sergeant,
Yes.
you know that they can change the positioning of their micro dagger on the screen.
No, I did not know that.
The target, I think it's something like interface or something like that, positioning.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the ace options. So
Oh.
you can put it from the left to the right screen, to the right side if you're a lefty, like I am.
Okay. I didn't even know that. Thank you for that information.
Problem, Sergeant.
Did y'all hear that, gentlemen?
Yeah, copy that, Sergeant.
Yep. That'd be something y'all can play with in your downtime. But me being a righty, I'm not a freak like all these left-handed people.
Excuse me, Sergeant?
You know I love you, Sergeant. All right, Alpha, what's going on?
Fixing my comms right now, Sergeant.
All right, let's move up. All right. We have it. Yep. Go to vehicle ID. Blue flag, gentlemen.
All right, we're gonna have to teleport you guys there. I don't see.
Oh, you don't see it?
Negative.
Do you know take care of that? Or do you want me?
Yeah, I got it right now.
Copy. Go on the other side, gentlemen.
All right, Jimmy, follow me.
Everybody made it here with their fucking limbs.
Confirmed, so
All right, in front of you, this is a BTR. This one and the one to my right. Both these are BTR variant. And the BTRs, you could tell that these are tracked, so you can't really be hard for you to miss them when you're trying to distinguish between the 3 other armored vehicles we're about to go over. Now with the BTR, it is a armored personnel carrier, which means it's mainly meant to be carrying personnel within inside the vehicle, but it's an armored transport vehicle, which means it is mounted with a mounted gun on top of it and capabilities to withstand 5.56 rounds, any other rounds it can take. Now with the BTR 60s, 70s, and 80s, these are the 8-wheeled APCs. The 70 and 80 is amphibious. These can carry at least 8 men as in the cargo area, and then 2 men for the crew, plus the squad leader as well. Now this BTR in front of you, it can take, but it has a 14.5 millimeter KPVT heavy machine gun, and then sometimes it may be attached with a secondary weapon system, which is a 7.62 millimeter PKT tank coaxial machine gun. Their max speeds on the road is about 8 kilometers an hour, so they can go about same amount of distance as our regular Vics can. Now to my left is a special variant, and this is a BTR 80A. And the reason for that is because it has a 30 millimeter autocannon that can launch out HE, or should I say high explosive shells. So now the reason why I'm distinguishing this BTR 80A specifically for you guys is because the main significance of it is that with it being a autocannon round that launches HE rounds, it can take out a whole squad with just maybe 1 or 2 shells. So although it is a BTR and it's part of the BTR family, is more lethal than a regular BTR. So go ahead and take your time looking at the actual turret. You see the turret?
Affirm, Sergeant.
Now look at the turret of the other BTR. It's a major difference. So if you're able to spot this in a good amount of distance and you can see that turret looks a little bit different, make sure you call up as a BTR 80A. So then we can know that this is the first armored piece we need to take out first. Before any other BTRs, it's the first BTR we need to take out. And it can also impact our armored Vics that we have, and it can hit any of our friendly air assets that are close to the ground if it is within the range. So that's why it is very critical for you to actually bring this up. Any questions with the BTRs?
One question.
Yes.
Is there a weak spot that you would hit it with the AT4 or anything
Yes.
like that?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay. So the weak spots, come with me right here. So with the BTRs and this is the way it goes. So the front portion of the BTR is basically crew section, and then the center is your is a cargo section, and then the rear is the engine. So one of its weak spots is that the rear of the BTRs is the engines are at the rear. So one of its weak spots is at the rear of the vehicle. So if you try to hit it to the rear, maybe right here where I'm pointing at, or below it, you could possibly hit the Vic to catastrophic. Now its other weak spots are from its sides, between the tracks and the hull, just right here, or from its top, which is where the turret's at. If you could hit the turret, it could disable the turret and possibly make the vehicle go catastrophic. But you have to make sure you're in an elevated position in order for that to be catastrophic when you're hitting the turret. Any questions with that?
Negative, Sergeant.
Can y'all tell me what these brown boxes are?
There's got to be windows, right?
No, these brown boxes right there.
I figure there are covers for windows.
No, that is reactive armor. It's crude, but it's effective. So you would think a broadside shot of this is fucking awesome. You have a lower chance of making it go catastrophic with a broadside shot because of the reactive armor. It'll blow up and null the warhead, the penetrative part of the warhead before it can penetrate the armor.
So don't shoot the reactive armor.
Well, I'm just saying, you get a broadside shot, don't assume it's easy kill.
Roger that.
And the reason
Don't take it, just don't assume that it's fucking gonna die.
and the reason why they're placed in those specific positions is that it's protecting the crew, and the parts of the cargo, and it's protecting the man or the guy that's on that turret. That's why they're placed in those specific positions, so then they won't hit the crew or anybody inside of the vehicle. Alright, go ahead and follow me down over here. Now, like the BTR, you see anything that's different with this vehicle right here? This is a BRDM.
Less wheels.
Yes.
Off the bat.
Yes. Anything else?
Well, the turret looks like the same turret as the regular BTR.
Yes, it is. But anything else from there? It's smaller. That's one thing you could say. Alright, so with the BTRDM, it does have a light on top of it. Same thing with the BTR 60 and 70. The main distinguish with the BRDM is that it only has 4 wheels that are basically used. It is still amphibious though. It has amphibious capabilities along with the BTR, but it can only seat 4 people. It's basically an armored patrol car, which is why you'll see it driving around. It's why it only carries 4 people, because it's basically meant almost for reconnaissance. Now it has the same turret, which, like I said before, the 14.5 millimeter machine gun and a 7.62 coaxial machine gun that can be equipped on the turret as well. Now it has the same weak sides from its both sides, left and right, and from its rear. Any questions to BRDM? Okay. Let's go ahead and move down over here as well again. I'm gonna go from left to right. Actually, I go to right. Actually, I just speak for all of the BMPs. So the BMPs are infantry fighting vehicles now. The reason for that is they carry less troops within its cargo space. However, they can carry some in there as well. Now, with the infantry fighting vehicles, they're a little bit more better in defending off of any attacks. As you can see from its front, it actually is slanted to repel off any rockets that hits from its front, which is why it has a V shape. So if you try to hit a rocket from basically how I'm standing, if I shoot a rocket towards the front of the Vic, what's going to happen is that the rocket is going to go off, but it's going to go off in a side way, which makes the rocket not be able to penetrate through the armor. However, from the sides, you can actually punch the rocket right straight through without it having to actually slide off. If you get what I'm saying. Now that you're that, as you can see, it has the same reactive armor from both of its sides. You come here. Same thing with the BMPs. You can load troops. I'm sorry, the troops are within you load troops from the rear. However, the engine is right at the bottom if you want to look. In the bottom rear, which is where it's easy for you to penetrate with your rocket. Now with this, with the BMPs, the main distinguish between the BMPs and the BTRs is that the BMP has tracks, not wheels. Now with the one to my left, this is a BMP2. BMP2 it uses the same hull as the BMP1, which is what you see to your right. But however, it has improved armor and in a large turret. If you want to come up here to see. So basically, the turret for the BMP2 is a 30mm autocannon, and it has a anti-tank guided missile on top of it. Now, with the one to your left, this is the BMP1. It has a fire control system, which is based on an optic system, allowing them to be able to shoot towards any targets with a human height. So with the BMPs, it can carry less troops, around about 4 to 5 within its cargo space, because it needs more room for the base of the front hull. As you see, it takes up most of the room. Any questions with BMP 1 and 2 or the IFV vehicles?
Question,
Yes, go ahead. Shoot it.
Are these with it being missile? Is that can they what would be the correct term? Infrared at night or anything like that at night?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Can they,
night vision. Thermal
Yes.
vision.
Yes, all of these vehicles can do have night vision capabilities.
okay, copy.
Yes, and if you talk about anti-guided missile now, with that it can actually it can target any of our friendly VICs.
Ground to ground.
So all it has to do, all this person has to do is basically point, you then shoot. As long as his turret's facing towards the vehicle and following the vehicle, that rocket will follow where he's pointing from. So it's just like our friendly TOW missiles. So the ones like, so since we have our NATO TOW missiles, they're just like that. However, just anti-tank guided missiles. So all they have to do is point at the target, launch that rocket, and follow the target, and that rocket will follow where they're pointing towards.
Okay.
However, the rocket on your left in BMP-1, it's not a guided rocket. It just points and forgets. So you point where you want to shoot it at, and then you have to keep your turret or your sights aiming towards the target you were trying to shoot at. Yep. So I would say the BMP-2 is more deadlier with it having heavy armored cannon, and with it having a much more advanced rocket system. Now there's actually one more we don't show, which is the BMP-3. It's the most newest BMP or infantry fighting vehicle that our enemies have, and basically has a main gun of 100mm low velocity rifled cannon. So it can shoot high explosive rounds just like our just like the BTR-80A can do. And along with that, it has a anti-guided missile on it as well, and it can mount a dual feed 30mm autocannon on it as well as a rifle, and with the rate of fire of 350 to 400 meters. 350 to 400 rates per minute, or rounds per minute. So the BMP-3 is more lethal than the BMP-2 or 1, but we mainly see the BMP-1s and 2s. And in rare occasions, BMP-3 will roll out, but they don't really roll it out as much as they do, or as they want to. Are there any questions with any of the BMP variants that went over? Okay, let's go ahead and move down.
Shermanum. Oh, no, man, you're not finished with those.
All right. Excuse me. In front of you is a ZSU 23. Now, before I begin with it, I should say ZSU 23. When you ever have a vehicle like a ZSU, the numbers on it will basically symbolizes what kind of millimeter cannon it has. So, moving on, the ZSU is a light armored vehicle. So, it's basically the same armored capacity, well, I should say armored cover as your regular BTR. So you could take the BTR with so you could take the ZSU with your LAW or your AT4. Now, moving on, it's a radar guided anti-aircraft weapon system, which is what it composed of. As you see on top of it, you see a radar dish. Now it has 4 autocannons, which is a 23mm autocannon, and it's designed basically to be a moving AA defense system or a vehicle which can defend off of any any aircrafts while being mobilized. Now its rate of fire is very fast and it rips your hearing very badly. You guys have your earplugs in?
Negative.
Put it on.
Good to go.
Now, as you can see, it points it towards the air. It's able to release at least 350 rounds per minute. Being able to fight off any friendly aircrafts at any time, which is why it's very crucial for you guys if you see this vehicle with a radar dish on top of it to call it out, or else we would not be able to get any reinserts. We won't be able to get an extraction from an LZ or anywhere, and we cannot get any rearmor, not rearmor, but lost train of word. What would we call it?
Resupply.
Resupply, thank you. All right. Any questions with the ZSU?
Negative, Sergeant.
Okay. Now this is a Tunguska, the bigger brother, the newer version of a anti-aircraft weapon system. Yeah, as you can see, it does not have 4 autocannons. It only has 2 autocannons, which is at the top. Well, actually, it does have 4. It doesn't have 8, I should say. Now, along with that, you see about 8 rocket pods inside of it. These are anti-aircraft rocket pods, allowing it to be able to shoot one round every so often towards any enemy aircrafts, and at the same time, it can shoot the aircrafts as well. So it can shoot those 2 autocannons towards the aircraft and launch a rocket at the same time, making our friendly air assets hard to shake them off. Now you can tell this is Tunguska because what do you see that's very different at the top of it than it has with the ZSU? Say again?
Rotating satellite.
Yep, the rotating radar dish. So, yep, this radar dish allows it to have a wider range of being able to seek out aircrafts a little bit further than what the ZSU can do. So, everyone see the major distinguish between the ZSU and the Tunguska?
Affirm, Sergeant.
And also, the ZSU, it's a little name. It's called Shilka, I should say as well. Remember, I need to tell you guys that. Shilka. CHILKA.
Copy that, Sergeant.
Alright, take a little UE. Give me 1 second. This is a little weird variant of a BMP. One of its distinguished points, you come over here. As you can see, its sides are more able to actually take on any of our rockets on towards it. As you can see, it does not get towards the hull that easily. So as you see, the sides are a little bit different from what our actual BMPs have. I mean, not ours, I should say, but their BMPs have. You come over here and look at it. So the BMPs are more easily trimmed. These BMPs, BMP 1 and 2, are more easily penetrable with the AT4. However, from here, if you do the AT4 right on, head on for about maybe 100 meters or less, it can penetrate through this armor and get straight towards the hull and make the vehicle catastrophic. However, from about 200 meters or out, it may be a little bit difficult. You may get a lucky shot and get a catastrophic, or you may not be able to get it. However, it still has the same ornaments as you see on the top. It has the same thing, anti-guided, anti-tank guided missile, and it has a coaxial machine gun mounted on the turret, as you can see from there.
So what's
From
the
its
next one, Sergeant?
say again?
This isn't the BMP3. It's just another variant of the
No, it's not a BMP3. It's called They call it IBIT or IBECT, wherever you want to say it. OBYEKT. But these are your infantry fighting vehicles. Any questions?
Negative, Sergeant.
Or should I say, does that answer your question? I should say.
Yes, sir. Yes, Sergeant.
All right. Now you look to your left. Do you see something that's a little bit different from its rear on this one?
This looks like it has a mortar around. Mortar.
Yes, it does. Now this one, basically, so just like how you have your just like as that ZSU is a mobile or I should say moving anti-aircraft defense vehicle. This is basically your mobile mortar vehicle, allowing the whole infantry to actually be able to shoot mortar rounds in a certain location and then relocate, making it hard for any of their enemies to actually find them and take out this vehicle. Now, however, with it having a mortar tube from its rear, it actually has as well a smaller turret, as you can see. You come up here.
And what's the name of this one, Sergeant?
The PRP. I can't give you actual call sign for it, as I don't know it for it. Not should say, yeah, call sign I should say. A classification name. But however, it has a 7.62 a turret, a coaxial machine gun right on top of it as in the turret, with MBG capabilities as well. And then as you can see, this one is a little easier penetrable from its sides than what a regular BMP is able to. But my best bet for you to do is try to hit it from the top portion right here, or if you can hit it right here from its tracks and you get right into the whole compartment down below. You see it between the tracks and from the top. You can try to hit it from there, and then also hit it from its rear, which is where its engine's at, from the below it right there. Now the door is split right below here. Questions?
Nice.
Let's move on. All right, to your left, my left. Yes.
Let them know what. Oh shit! You know, I forgot what the fuck the name of it called. Just call it a piece of armor instead.
Yep. Yep, it's not. if you're not able to actually bring up the classification of it, if you don't know what it is, just say it's an armored piece. Don't try to figure out what the name is. If you try to take forever and call out the wrong name, just say there's an armored piece somewhere over here. It's the same thing with the mortar tube. Just say I have an armored vehicle with equipped mortar tube at its rear, if you want to say it like that. If you can't figure out what the classification of it is, yep. And then also, let me touch on the BTR real quick as well. BTR, you can actually engage the BTR with a with your 40 mics as well. If you do not have any AT to engage the BTR with, or if you're in danger times where you cannot move, you guys are stuck, you can use your 40 mics to engage the BTR. And you hit it from the same weak spots, which is from the top of the armored piece, or from its sides, or from its rear, with your 40 mics. And then also, if you're a machine gunner within weapon squads, you can use the 7.62 rounds to penetrate through the hole and get the crew that's inside the compartment.
Make sure it's HEDP rounds.
Yeah, make sure you have HEDP 40 mic rounds.
HE won't do anything; it'll just piss it off.
If the HE dual purpose packs a little more bigger punch to penetrate through the armor. Let's move on. So like I said, right in front of you, or should I say to your left in front of you, this is a MBT, or main battle tank. So now the main battle tanks come with many variants, the T70, T80, and T90. Now, going on through the class, the T90 is a more, I should say, a more better variant, having multiple reactive armor around it, making it very hard to penetrate through its armor and take it out, which is why you leave it to the weapon squads. The weapon systems that you're given, your Law or your M136 Heat, or HETP, doesn't matter, cannot penetrate through the main battle tanks or any of its armor. Now, the lucky shots you can get if it's time for desperate measures and the weapon squads cannot get to you on time, and the BMP is rolling to your location. The weak spots are the same place I've been showing you for the BTR and the BMP. From its rear by its engine compartment, as you can see the engine right now, or from its sides once again, right here. And if you are in an elevated position, like you're on top of the roof or some of a building, or you're on the second floor or whatever, and you are on top of a balcony, you can also hit it from elevated position from its top of its turret. Make sure you hit it exactly the top of the turret. This compartment, and the actual turret is what I'm saying, but this compartment right here, hit on top of it, you could smash this vehicle into a little paper plate. It won't literally be smashed to a paper plate, but you can actually disable the turret and possibly get the vehicle disabled totally or make it catastrophic. So these have basically they're equipped with high technology, making it better than what the BMPs are. They're not amphibious, I'll tell you that. And the turrets allows you to have 45 rounds ammunition to be carried within inside of the vehicle. It is equipped with a night vision scope, not scope I should say, but night vision optic, and along with thermal optic as well, allowing them to see past your smokes. So smokes can conceal them. However, if they feel like going towards thermal, they can actually get eyes on you guys easily. Now, this thing can be taken out as paper mache with, like we said before, during day 1 with javelin, and a mouse rocket can hit it as well. However, should you waste your M136 or your law on it? It's a question. Yes or no? Should you waste your HE4? I can't hear you. Probably done.
Negative, Sergeant.
Thank you. There you go.
Sorry, I didn't know that question was directed to me. I'm sorry.
It was directed to both of you guys. Alright, yeah. So do not waste your HE4 on this armored piece. Basically, to make it mad, it's gonna look for you and try to attack you before it attacks anyone else. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to your troop transports. Alright, so I'm gonna say this from left to right. So on your left is your Ural, a Ural 4320, and then on your right is a Gas 66. Now, start with the Ural first. So the Urals are basically off-road 6x6 trucks. So it has capabilities of going off-road and going by road. It can carry up to 14 passengers, which I'm including the driver and the passenger in the front as well. Now, as you can see, they can come in many variants. They can come with the cabin on top, or with no cabin, allowing it to be open. So I should say no cover or with cover. Let's come to rear, show you guys something real quick. And then with it as well, you're able to penetrate through that cover or shoot the crew from its rear. So basically, if I were you, if you see the vehicle moving, shoot the driver, and then if you're able to get eyes towards the rear of the vehicle, spray through this opening, and you can take out every infantryman that's in there. So it has capability of having 2 collapsible benches, which is this right here, and from the top right here, allowing it to be able to carry other cargo. So you can carry cargo as well, just for cargo instead of troops. Now with the gas, it can carry up to 13 soldiers. And then that's including as well the driver and the passenger. And then with the gas and the Euro, both of them, they do have two firing positions. So line the passengers within the vehicle who are in the rear 2 seats to fire outside of the vehicle and engage any troops they see from its rear. So they can't shoot back to you now. Don't think they can't shoot at you. They shoot back at you while you're shooting them, which is why all you have to do is get your saw in your rifle squad or a saw in a weapon squad to just shoot anywhere in this vehicle. They can shoot through this cover, from the sides, or from its rear. Just take out any enemies they see inside of there and just spray through it. Any questions with the Ural or the gas?
Negative, Sergeant.
Okay. Now, people do say yes, the Ural can be used for civilian purposes, but the reason why it's meant for reason why the significance of it is that it has diesel. It's a diesel engine instead of a gasoline engine than its other variants. Let's go ahead and move over here. Okay, so these is what I will call a gun trucks. I'm calling it technical, but these are your gun trucks. And the gun trucks basically them just taking out the top of a vehicle and putting on a mounted gun on top of it. Now the weapon system you see to your left, or the gun truck you should see to my left, should say your right, is a AGL. Sorry, my right, your left is a an AGL, which is an auto grenade launcher, allowing it to be able to shoot at multiple grenade rounds per second. The one to your left, that's the one. I'm sorry, your right, my left, should say, is one that the sergeant is in. This is basically a machine gun that can launch within 12 millimeters or higher. I should say actually 14 millimeters or less. The mount on and be able to engage infantry more deadlier. Now, what you can do with both of these gun trucks is to basically take out the gunner first. If you see this vehicle moving, take out the gunners, and then you're not good still. The driver can move on to a different position, elevated position to where you guys can't see him, but he can see you. He can get on top of the turret and he can engage you guys, even though you shot the gunner. So don't think that this vehicle is not deadly if you just took out the gunner. Make sure you take out the driver as well so that the driver can't get on the gunner seat and then shoot at you guys, or I just run you over straight on forward. So once again, make sure to take out the gunner first and then engage the driver. This way, the gunner can't engage you when the driver's dead. The tires can be penetrable with your 7.62 rounds and 5.56 rounds. However, I advise using 7.60 rounds as you can disable tires much quicker. You can engage these with your HEDP rounds. It can disable the vehicle with about 3 or 4 rounds head on, and they make it catastrophic, which is why you shouldn't really waste your law or your AT4 on these armored vehicles. Any questions? All right, let's go ahead and move down over here. Actually, I want to start over here. Actually,
If you do happen to see those gun trucks and nobody's in it, everybody's dead, and it's still functional, fucking like shoot out one of the tires. Takes a couple rounds to do that. So.
Yep, and that is something crucial as well, because they can actually run into those gun trucks are not being manned, and actually take them and actually move them around. All right, so behind me and in front of you right now, these two variants from your left and your right is an MI8, also known as a HIP. That's his NATO designator. Basically, it's a twin turbine transport helicopter. And it also has an Arma variant, which is what you see to your right, my left. So the variants of the MI8 can be used for many ways of transport, for reconnaissance, transport on VIPs to do an air assault, or it can spot any of our enemy locations. So it can be mainly as reconnaissance. Also, it can be used as an airborne command post if you can, because it can take out actual seats inside the compartment and then put in benches to be used for as a command post. Now with the MI8s, it can transport 2 squads plus a few more, not including the driver. I'm sorry, the pilot and the co-pilot. With this as well, it is not penetrable with your 5.56 rounds, but it is penetrable with 7.62 rounds. However, do not waste your ammo when the vehicle is on air, because you do not know if you're leading or following the vehicle. You don't know if your rounds are penetrating through it. So like I said, your 5.56 rounds cannot penetrate through the armor piece, so don't even try to shoot at it. Now, also in addition to that, if you see the vehicle flying in the air, and you see it, make sure you call it out so that everyone else can know to either stay in place, hide somewhere, if the enemy does not know that you guys are in the AO. In addition to that, don't keep your eyes on it for too long, because however, it can be used as distraction for you. They're not trying to distract you on purpose. They're just trying to get reconnaissance. But however, it is a distraction for you as you're keeping your eyes off of the ground infantrymen and you're putting your eyes on air assets. So keep your eyes on the ground infantrymen, engaging them, and don't keep your eyes off of them. Don't try to follow the airframe as you try to figure out where it's going to land from. Now, if you do have eyes on the airframe landing, call out the bearing. So then your squad leader or the higher echelon could actually know where he's landing from and engage those troops effectively by getting their friendly air assets. Now with that initiative as well, leave these airframes to our friendly air assets. Let the A-10 pilot take him out, let our Apache pilot take him out, or anything else like that. Because basically, like I said before, using your weapon systems are a waste, because then you need to use your rockets for ground moving vehicles, such as our APCs I just showed you and the IFVs I just showed you. Now, let's move on towards the armored variant, as I said about with the MI8. MI8 equips with various rocket pods, as you can see from your left and from your right, and it has from its rear and from its sides a coax machine gun, which is a 12mm machine gun, being able to engage you guys at any time it wants to. However, like I said before, you can do nothing to it if it's engaging you guys. Only you can do is seek and run for cover. Run and seek for cover. You can't engage it with your 5.56 rounds and web systems that were given to you. You gotta let the air assets deal with it. Any questions with the MI8 and the MI8 variant, armored variant?
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright. One thing you can do, however, if you have 7.62 rounds, is try to hit the tail rotor if it calls for deadly measures. Is that if you hit the tail rotor, you get this vehicle to automatically go spinning, And as it spins, the vehicle goes basically is uncontrollable, and the pilot has to forcibly land this airframe if it can. So basically, you're keeping this airframe off the air, as they have to get a crew to basically repair it, but they can't repair it in a combat zone. Alright, let's go ahead and move. Yes, Private John?
When it does land and it's in the vicinity of you and you take out all its pilots and all that, do you destroy the helicopter as well?
Yes, like you at some point, sometimes your 40 mics can disable the rotors if you hit the top of it. But the best you can do is put a demolition block from its rear and blow it up. And if it's down the ground, you just call up and the 18 pilot will just go and just blow it up with a couple rounds from its Gatling gun. Yep, let's go ahead and move towards. Alright, so this is your Mi-24 and its NATO designation is Hind. It's basically a attack and transport helicopter. One of the very few gunships that can actually carry a that has a troop cargo from its center. So if you see this thing in the air landing, then you know that it's basically going to drop off troops and then go back in the air and then re-engage you guys again. Now it has a 12.7 millimeter 12.7 millimeter machine gun, which can engage you guys from many different directions. Right below here, as you can see. Now these windshields are basically bulletproof, which means your 5.56 rounds or 7.62 rounds cannot penetrate through it. So that's just a waste of ammo. You're just trying to shoot at it. However, you can disable this tear water once again. At the top, it has two mounted engines, as you can see from its left and from its right, and a 5-blade main rotor, which is at the top. Now, as you can see, it has rocket pods from both of its sides, along with missiles from the rear. Not just the rear, but from the end of its wings. Can carry a squad, and not only a squad, from its transport cargo or from the center of its vehicle, which is why it's very dangerous. Any questions with this gunship? Or I should say with the Hind. Now, without it being a NATO designation, they call it Mi-24 Crocodile, but we call it the Hind as a NATO designation. Let's go ahead and move down towards our friendly assets. So now, first we're going over our friendly air assets, and then soon later on we're going over our friendly ground assets or ground vehicles. Now, you guys sure you had no more questions, correct?
Roger that, Sergeant.
All right. Anything you might want to point out as well with enemy air assets before I continue?
They're ugly as sin. Other than that, Sergeant, nothing.
Talking helpers. All right. All right. So in front of you, this is a AH-64 Delta Apache. So the Apache, or also known as a longbow, is a multi-mission 4-blade twin-engine attack helicopter with a tandem cockpit for a 2-man crew, as you can see right on top of it. And its nose has a mounted sensor for target acquisition and night vision systems and thermals as well. And what I'm being told currently we have is the AH-64 Echo. But as I said, the AH-64 variants, Apache pilots, is what I'm telling you right now for what all of them have. And so what it has right now is a longbow fire control radar in its weapons compartment, which is right below here. And it's a radar guided fire and forget longbow Hellfire missiles. These two right here. And then it has rocket pods from the rear. I should not say rear, I'm gonna keep saying rear, but from the end of its wings. And it's able to detect and classify and prioritize any ground targets during the day or during the night, and even in any poor weather conditions, which is why the Apaches is one of our major friends for ground troops. But I'll show you what's our favorite friend in a minute soon. Has a 30 millimeter automatic M230 machine gun right here below you, which is this Gatling gun. Now its call sign for the Apache is Warlord, which is why you. So this stuff something you need to remember is call signs Warlord, and as you can see, its thermal and its night vision optics are right there with its camera. Now its camera is able to give you reconnaissance for up to several kilometers. Our Apache pilots normally will normally be out by hills, hiding under hills, usually areas that are surrounded by hills. That way gives them a 360 cover. To hide under hills, they wait for a call for fire, not call for fire, but for a gun run order, basically from infantry or ground infantry. And when they get a laser target or grid coordinates, what they'll do is that they'll peek up from the hill. The gunner will seek the laser or the grid coordinates, launch Hellfires, or use his Gatling gun or his rocket pods, engage target, and hide right back down to the hill. And then about several seconds, their spotter will tell them, which is mainly the ground infantryman, will tell them whether or not they successfully engaged the target. Now, basically, with the Apache, with it doing this type of method, they're able to basically engage enemy infantry without them knowing that they've been engaged or who just engaged them. Which is why they're usually by hills and do not actually move into the AO and fly over the AO. However, you will see the Apache actually escort our friendly air frames to the AO, and then you'll see them escort them away from the AO. But that's the only time you actually see them moving with you guys. But you mainly see them further away, about maybe 1 to 2 kilometers up in the air, where you can't see them engaging targets or behind hills. Any questions with the Apache?
I guess I do.
Alright, and once again, the call sign is Warlord. Let's get moved down. This is a little bird with the call sign Lancer. As a rocket pod right here where I'm pointing at, and a Gatling gun to your left, along with the camera with night vision capabilities, being able to give out reconnaissance. The little bird, it's mainly meant for reconnaissance. You don't usually see it doing gun runs for us, but at times you would see it going through the AO doing gun runs and getting reconnaissance at the same time. Now with the little bird, with the little bird, it's not that much fastly maneuverable. However, it can do quick reconnaissance and move out of the AO, which is why it only has compartments for 2 guys. It's not that much advanced as Apache. However, we do use it for reconnaissance most of the time. The little bird you would see sometimes escorting our friendly airframes into the AO and out of the AO, mostly then with our Apache. Any questions with the little bird call sign Lancer?
I guess I do.
Let's go ahead and move on to our favorite friendly air asset. Now in front of you is the 810 call sign Thunder. The 810 has a twin engine and is a straight wing single seat jet aircraft, and it's mainly designed for close air support. And it's one of the few only airframes that is meant for close air support. Only jet aircraft that is meant for close air support, and that's what the Army believed it needed. So that's why they created A-10, and it may never go into retire. It can take down any armored vehicles that comes through its path, ground targets with limited air defense. The A-10 has a 20. It could do it has high explosive projectiles up to 23. It has a 23 millimeter Gatling gun, as you see right here, that with it has high explosive rounds, and it can it deals has armor piercing high explosive rounds, I should say. It can survive attacks with any 23 millimeter high explosive rounds or armor piercing rounds. So it can survive attacks from that. However, it is very it cannot fly through AO with any of the ZSUs or Tunguskas in the area. As you see below it, I shouldn't say below it, but however, it is equipped right here. As you can see, a camera that allows the A-10 to be able to get a reconnaissance sorry, point at the wrong thing. Camera that is able to give it reconnaissance within the AO up to, it should say, about 5 to 10 kilometers. In addition to that, it has night vision and thermal capabilities. It carries various very missiles and rockets, along with its Gatling gun in the center. Any questions?
Negative, sir.
Its max speed 700 kilometers per hour, and it has a radar warning sensor, which basically allows it lets it know if it's taking any threats, any missile threats coming towards it. It carries Mark 82 bombs, various GBU bombs, CBU bombs, and BRU bombs with the triple ejector rack. It has a LAU rockets and seven times of the LAU rockets, and it has a AIM missile and an AGM missile equipped with it. So those are a lot of various armaments that it does carry, and I did miss a few, I believe, but those are just the armaments it carries. Any questions with the A10?
Negative, sir.
Comments? All right. Move on to the last two airframes that we have, and these are our transport airframes. Which is a UH-60 Blackhawk, the CH-47 Chinook. Now with the UH-60 Blackhawk, it can carry a squad +2, and let me put that in numbers to carry 10 guys +2 more if the gun seats are not occupied, which allows ground infantrymen to occupy those two gun seats. The capabilities of having a pilot and co-pilot seat. It also has a Gatling gun from both sides, which makes our transport airframes armored at all times, defending us from any attacks as we land into the LZ or extract from the LZ. Now with the UH-60, it is less maneuverable than our CH-47 Chinook, and CH-47 Chinook does have as well a Gatling gun from both sides, from the left and right. However, it can carry 2 squads plus a few more. Now as you see, its rotors are from the top, and you can see its engine compartments, not engine compartments, but its engine is on both sides from the rear of the rotors, making it hard for the infantry to actually load into the bird. Now the CH-47 is more maneuverable and much faster than the Blackhawk, which is why we use the Chinook more than we use the Blackhawk. However, the Chinook is mainly meant for task force operations, and the Blackhawk is mainly meant for squad trainings, stuff like that, for smaller size operations. Any questions with the Chinook and the Blackhawk?
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright, awesome. I hand you back over to Sergeant Margiotta again.
Alright, copy. Take a knee and stand back up once you get back. I'm gonna take a quick 2-minute break.
You guys sit there, stand up once you're back. Margiotta.
Yes.
He wants you to go over the dismounted mounts, then I'll go over a convoy. And then we'll do the mount and CQB together. That's the last portion.
That's fine.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Have many recruits signed up or new members coming through OSUT?
Every week.
Stay busy, huh?
Yep.
That's great.
Well, mostly every week. I mean, every 2 weeks.
They can never put us out of a job, in other words.
Alright, everybody good?
Ready to go, Sergeant.
Excellent. Alright, step over here. Alright, like Sergeant Smith was saying, this is the UH-60 Black Hawk. This is one of our transports. It can hold a full squad, plus I believe 2 more. This is how we prep to board this helicopter. You're going to have, it doesn't matter if it's A or B fire team on one side and the other fire team on the other. The reason why you have one extra person on this side is because this is going to be the squad mic. He's usually on the side with the squad leader since they're technically battle buddies. So you're going to line up just like this and a fire team file perpendicular to the airframe. The squad leader will ask for permission to board. At that point, when he gets permission, he'll call over squad net to Alpha and Bravo fire teams and tell them permission granted to board. That's when they'll call down to their teams and relay that information. Now, before you board, you should remember you should have your gun at high ready, not at low. You want to have it just like that, and you want to be off to the right of that person's shoulder, since we're all right-handed. Now, if I lined up with Private Dunn here, I would be off-cantered, pointing to the left, the right a little bit, so I'm not pointing a gun at the back of his head. And that's how you should get in to the airframe. Because the way you get in is the way you get out. So if you have your gun down low like that, no clip in, you're going to get out with your gun at the low with no clip. So just be mindful of that. Everything you say at this point should be over the radio. And that's calling yourself in. Everybody underneath the team lead needs to call himself in. So Alpha shouldn't say Alpha's in. Alpha is getting his guys in. You already know you're in the airframe.
Alright, we have comms everything like this.
So you should hear from your grenadier, auto rifleman, and your rifleman that they're in. So as soon as they say they're all in, you're going to call up to squad and say Alpha's all in or Bravo is all in. Now at that point, the squad leader can communicate with the pilot to lift off after he gets confirmation that his guys are all in. So you want to do that quick, fast, and in a hurry. You want to do... This is just when you're boarding the helicopter on base. Now, when it comes to getting picked up in field from a mission, you need to do it quick. You don't want to ask permission to board. You hurry up and just fucking pile in the helicopter. Let your team leader know that you're warned as fast as possible, so he can call it up as fast as possible to the squad leader, and so forth and so forth. You want speed because chances are he's landing in a hot AO, and fucking big black helicopters are a fucking great target for the enemy to shoot at. So, pilot wants to get up and lift it off the ground as fast as possible. So, as fast as you can get in is the faster you can lift off. So, you wait and you get in formation when you're in base, when you're fucking getting taken out of an AO. You get in the helicopter as fast as possible.
Thank you so much, Ice Breaker, for the follow.
You don't want to be messy about it. You don't want to run
I don't know why my sound keeps glitching like that for some reason.
If you run around the front of it, take a wide berth, get in there. Make sure you're in. The two team leaders take command of the door guns, the Alpha and Bravo. So, to remember, if you're loading in on this side of the helicopter, you want to take the crew chief slot. Crew chief slot will put you on the left door gunner. and that will kick you off the left with your team. Now, if you fuck up and you take the wrong side, to stay like that. We have a saying: if you fuck up, stay fucked up.
Hope you don't fall asleep that quick though.
So, it's not going to be the end of the world if you get kicked off the helicopter on the opposite side of your fire team. Just stay over there. Just go prone, take up a sector, cover that sector. Once the helicopter lifts, the squad leader will start giving a movement order, and you can regroup with your team at that point. So it's not a fucking end of the world situation if you get on or get off on the wrong side of the helicopter. Any questions so far, gentlemen?
Negative, Sergeant.
All right, let's move to the next. All right, so that's getting on the airframe at base. Like I said, getting on the airframe in a hostile environment is different. Now, this is getting off the airframe. These two gentlemen here are your squad and your squad medic. Your squad leader.
Oh, yeah, get up 5 hours. You need to go to sleep though. You need to go to sleep. That one should be late for school. I'm not school for work.
Each fire team is going to get off on their side of the helicopter. So if you look, Alpha or Bravo, don't really matter, is on that side.
Oh, you ever thought about joining the 506 unless you're already part of the 506, I'm assuming.
Now, once they dismount, well, let me start it from the top. All right, the helicopter lands. Squad leader is going to say dismount. The team leaders will echo that. Everybody dismounts the helicopter. You can do it all at once. You're not going to cause a problem. Everybody can dismount at once. Once everybody dismounts, each fire team is going to find a sector to cover. So you're going to have roughly the 12 o'clock position, then he's going to cover that, and then the 6 o'clock. So you're going to find some place to fall in and cover sector. Doesn't have to be fucking pretty. You just got to be effective. So that's what happens. Both sides hop out, dismount, and take like 4 jogs forward and go prone. You just want to distance yourself from the helicopter and cover a sector. Just like any Vic, you want to distance yourself from the Vic when you're dismounting it in any kind of hostile territory because of possibility of enemy shooting a rocket, a mortar, or something 40 byte mics at it, and that explosion could fatally injure you if you're too close to it. So you want to distance yourself. So I would say anywhere where there are, or even push out to where the head of your guy is like at this edge of the rotor. It's just doing it quick and effective. Just getting out, find a spot, and cover that sector. Just don't run around looking for a spot. Just fucking, get out and cover a sector. You want to do all this over the radio because the fucking bird is loud. So getting on, you want to call on. When you're getting off, you want to call off. Because the team leader and squad leader have to do the exact same thing as they were getting on. Since they're off, they got to call, make sure everybody's off, and then call up to the pilot and let him know that everybody's dismounted and he's free to go. So you got to be quick with all that information. Any questions?
No, Sergeant.
Negative, Sergeant.
I'll point something out real quick. If you get kicked off the wrong side, where your team did not board into, just stay in that position. You don't want to rotate around to the other side where your team is at, causing the pilot to panic, thinking there's something wrong, and then keep his board on the ground a little bit longer. So if you get kicked off the wrong side, stay where you got kicked off from, so the pilot can get off the air quicker.
Where's that, Sergeant?
All right, so y'all are ready to do a quick dismount?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
All right. Alpha to actual over.
Send it.
Prepare to board this Blackhawk. On
Look
Upper
out.
OSUT.
Look up. All right, Tim, we're gonna
Oh,
board
okay.
this Blackhawk. Stand by. Line up.
Yeah, I don't want you to like only get an hour of sleep and then go to work and like, oh man, this tactical jesting guy streaming 506 OSUT made me late for work.
Megan.
Correcting.
All right, I get permission. Alpha is actual permission board over. Excuse me, Alpha is actual permission board over.
Actual's out. This is Alpha boarding.
Actual, this is Alpha boarding. All right, Alpha team, let's board.
Yep, you got to be a little bit slower with that mic, because you told him to board on.
What? Weren't you calling?
Yeah,
Hey,
but
Fed
just
Marzo,
you.
This is, yeah. Weren't you talking to me saying permission to board?
Yeah,
or?
but you got to give it a second to unkey, so you can key up your team net. Because you pressed team net, even though you did, it transmitted over squad net.
Roger.
Yeah, just got to be slow. Just give it a second. Yep, proceed.
No.
All right, Alpha.
I'm just telling them. Yeah, the pilots don't panic. I'm just telling them just some things. I just gotta give an example reason why you don't want to rotate around. But yeah, the pilots won't panic. It's just that if someone's running around, then the pilot may think that someone might need to get back inside of the bird, or there's something wrong. The pilot won't actually panic. I'm just using something as a placeholder.
Alpha team is boarded. Over.
Alpha is actual copy. Over.
But yeah, we would love some more pilots. Well, I don't think there's any more pilots. Any more billets left open for pilots, but if I think they may open, you never know. But we would love some more pilots if you want to come join. You know, get Arma, and then you make sure you have Apex as well. And you come join a unit if you want to, as long as you're 18 years old or older and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what usually will happen if someone gets kicked off the wrong side. They start running around. Either the pilot may hit him, so the pilot has to stay and wait, so the pilot doesn't hit him with the front of the bird, or hit him with the tail rotor if the guy rotates from the rear bird. In addition to that, the pilot may think there's maybe someone still left in the bird. So yeah, there's a lot of things that may happen if someone starts moving around after they get kicked off the bird. Well, after they get out of the bird.
Alright. I like it. Y'all seem to know what the fuck's going on. Cool. Y'all have any questions?
Negative, Sergeant.
Question for me.
Yes, go for it.
Is this further out? I couldn't really. I guess I'm right at the edge of the.
No, you're fine. You're
Okay.
fine. No, y'all did good. Y'all got out. Y'all found a quick place to get down on, and y'all got down. You were fairly quick with comms. You want to be quick, but not so quick as to get your radio all fucked because you're going too fast.
Roger, Sergeant.
Yep. But no, y'all did good. So, all right, recover. And any last questions or comments about this?
Actually, stay put where you're at real quick. I want to point something out real quick. If y'all were laying down, so you guys remember everything about sectors, correct? So if you're in charge of 1-8 sector from this side of the bird, Private Allen, will you be watching?
I'll be watching.
Southeast, correct?
We're watching a 134 to yeah southeast.
And then Private Dylan, you'll be watching.
Northeast.
Yep. So basically, you keep your rifle pointed towards southeast and your rifle pointed towards northeast, and you just keep your head to a swivel by holding onto your Alt key. And keep your head to swivel, watching both sectors while your rifle's still pointing towards your sector. You guys get what I mean? Yep. So sometimes it may happen where it's just only 4 guys in the bird and 2 guys on the left and 2 guys on the right. You have to watch the whole 180 security, depending on where you're standing. But you still have to watch security, even if you get even if all of you are to this side. If you get what I mean.
Cover that, Sergeant.
All right, gentlemen, recover. All right, let's go over the next A-frame, airframe. All right, so this is the Chinook This is the one we mostly take because this carries 2 quads plus. And this is how you prepare to board this helicopter.
I'll tell you one thing, Joe.
You're gonna come
I
off
love flying,
like a 30,
and I'm a
45
quite
degree
decent
angle,
pilot.
and you're gonna line up
But
in your entire
one thing I knew to
squad.
myself is like it's not that much fun if you
Tune leader be
fly
here,
around.
you'll get permission
Main
to board.
fun is on the ground,
Set
shooting that stuff.
actions.
So that's why I
Everybody aboard one at a time.
never chosen to be a pilot,
Your
unless
fire
you could
team
be a
leader,
pilot and be a
take a fucking
and be an
minigun.
infantryman.
There's 2 of them.
But yeah,
So if you happen to be a fire team leader and you get on and you see that there's not anybody on a minigun, fucking move yourself there and take it. Yes, corporal. That'd be excellent. So you want to do exactly like you do in the Black Hawk. You want to call yourself on to your team lead, and he'll call himself on to the squad lead. So it's the exact same situation. Only thing different is you're fucking lining up, or you're in a fucking squad file, and you're lining up 45 degrees off the back ramp. Any questions on that?
No, Sergeant.
All right, let's move on down. All right, so there's a little bit of a trick to this. When you're dismounting this helicopter, you have, let me, all right, so you have the very 2 last seats. You have on the left, and you have one on the right. Those 2 seats are going to be the first and second off the bird. So it's going to be this seat here that I'm standing next to. That seat will be the first one off, and then the one across from him, which would be that one, that will be the next one off. And then it's going to jump back over to the other side of the aircraft, and then it's going to jump over and jump over.
it's all right.
Understand that situation?
You can fall asleep whenever you want to.
Crossing to the left when the caddy corner left goes, you go.
Correct.
If you're sitting on the right side.
Right. Yeah. When the person on your left on this side of the helicopter disappears, you get off. When the person
Yeah, I'll try to do that. What happened was that
you get off.
Copy that.
originally my mic was too low and the game audio was too high.
Throw people up in a rotor blade.
So I had to bring up my mic volume up higher than my game volume.
Just make sure you follow that, and everything will be kosher. Now, the first 2 people to get off are the very back seats, last seats. That's going to be this gentleman here and this gentleman here.
The reason why they sound so low on TS audio, if you're running about that, it's because it's based off of TFAR. So the closer I get to them, the more louder they sound. The further away I get from them,
So
the less
right off the back of the
they
bird,
sound very soft.
and fucking go prone. That's their job, to cover the 12 o'clock position of the helicopter. Now, everybody else that's in the bird is going to fucking come and find somewheres to go prone and cover their sector. Now, we only have 1 squad out right here, so it looks a little thin. When you have 2+ squads exiting, it gets full pretty quick, so just find a place. You're not going to be with your team. You can be mixed in with some other fucking squad. It doesn't matter. As long as you're covering a sector, you're off the bird in a timely manner, everything's good. Now, once the bird lifts, you're going to get, contacted by your squad leader, your team lead, and they will give you a movement order, and that's when you will reconsolidate. So everything needs to be said over radio because once again it's loud and we don't need any miscommunications about being on or off the helicopter. And
did I fix it though? Can you hear me better? Will, can you hear the game better?
Just to confirm, so basically, when the first person gets on the bird, it's going to be sit on the back seat, or is there?
No, it's if you look at it, they got either rod as passenger, door gunner, crew chief, or rod and back. So if you put passenger left ramp.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, gotcha. And I guess the pilot does the ramp, correct? You do not have
Yes.
to. Okay.
No. Most of the time, it's going to be if you're on a bird with top, he likes to be the first one off, so he'll take one of the back seats. So, just if he asks you to switch a seat, it's just because he likes to lead from the front. That's all. All right. Any questions?
Negative, Sergeant.
Negative, Sergeant.
Alpha, this is actual over.
Stand by.
Actual, this is Alpha. Send it.
Alpha, this is actual. Get ready to board the Chinook. Over.
Copy, out. Alpha team, get ready to board Chinook. Over.
Copy that.
Alright, team, load up. Over.
Alpha team's loading up. Alpha team, load up.
Yeah, you gotta scroll. You can't just say.
Actual, this is Alpha. Team's in. Over.
Alpha, this is actual. Good copy. Over.
All right, so that was good that you took the gun. When you're on a gunner on this, you're going to be the last person to get off because you have the greatest firepower to protect the squads and also the helicopter.
Alright, Alpha Bravo, dismount.
Alpha. Actual Alpha. Copy. Alpha, prepare to dismount.
Nope, you gotta release that button.
Alpha, dismount.
No, you're still on squad net.
Guns out.
Now I'm assuming that there's more than just two of us on this huge circle.
Yes, you're going to have fucking 2+ squads. Yes. So, you told Dunn to get out over squad net, so just be advised on that.
Copy that, Sergeant. I was having regular issues. Won't happen again.
That's fine. Probably done. Just take a little bit more and come out to about here. And that's where you're gonna. There you go. Just so you can leave some room for the rest of the guys. You're fine. You just wanna, when you dismount, you wanna be far enough off that ramp because you're gonna have fucking, like I said, 2+ squad worth of guys getting off that helicopter.
Roger that, Sergeant.
Alright, y'all feel confident in
Now that my radars are set up properly, Sergeant, yes.
Probably done. All right. Make sure you condition for that. All right. Recover. All right. Sergeant Smith, they're all yours, brother.
Roger, alright, gentlemen, follow me. A bit closer. Alright, to your I should say to your right. So to your right, let's just say to your right and your left right now. Currently are friendly ground transport vehicles that are always continuously armed. Now to your right is the Cougar, and to your left is the RG-33. Now, do you guys know what variant type of vehicles these are? These are AMRAPs. Does anyone know what AMRAP is? No, both of them are AMRAPs, but do you know what the AMRAP means? What does it mean? Okay. AMRAP is a
Anti-personnel.
say again?
Mine resistance.
Copy.
What did you just say?
Multi-role anti-personnel.
No, it's a mine-resistant ambush protection vehicle. So the Army decided to commission a vehicle that is be able to basically resist any mines or any ambushes at all costs, to be able to protect the crew that's inside the vehicle and make it home alive at the end of the day. Which created the MRAPs, and the variants of these is the Cougar, like I said, to your right, and then the RG-33, which is right here. Now, we really take the RG-33s, and there are other variants than just that one I just showed you right there, but we mainly always go out in missions and operations with the Cougar. Now, the Cougars, they're variants of 6x6 and 8x8 and 4x4s, but the one right now you see is the 6x6 that is always equipped with a static weapon on top. Either it's excuse me, either it's the 50 cal, or it has the automatic grenade launcher on top of it. And now, with these vehicles, they have capabilities of carrying a squad size element plus a few more. I should say about 2 more extra seats, along with a driver and a gunner seat and a passenger. So that all in total is, I would say, 13 to 14 available seats for a whole crew. Now the RG-33 is a little bit different, has different passenger size. However, I'd rather show you guys and tell you at the same time with it. However, I don't have it with me right now. So let's go ahead and move on. So this portion I'm about to tell you about convoy procedures and everything within that, and mounting and dismounting out of our motorized vehicles. So at the beginning, let's start off with the positions that you have within the vehicle. So within the whole fire team, you know you have your fire team leader, the AR, the grenadier, and the rifleman. So each of these people within this whole fire team is given a position inside the vehicle. Starting off with the rifleman is the driver. Then the grenadier is the gunner. And then the fire team leader is the vehicle commander. And then the automatic rifleman is the passenger. So I'll say this again. The rifleman is the driver. The grenadier is the gunner. The fire team leader is the vehicle commander. And the automatic rifleman is the passenger. Everyone understands about that?
Alright.
What was the last one? I'm sorry, Sergeant.
The automatic rifleman is the passenger. Now, within these vehicle positions, same thing within the fire team, you have a buddy team, and the vehicles, you have a buddy team. So the driver and the gunner is a buddy team, and the vehicle commander and the passenger is a buddy team. Just like how the fire team leader and AR is commonly the fire team. I'm sorry, the buddy team, and the grenadier and rifleman is commonly a buddy team. Now, I'm going to expand on that portion of the buddy teams. The reason why we have buddy teams within the vehicle positions, so this main reason is because of the mounting sequence. Within mounting into the vehicle, the first people that mount up in the vehicle is that first buddy team. And that buddy team is the driver and gunner team will be mounting into the vehicle first. And you guys know who the driver and the gunner is?
Rifleman and Grenadier.
Rifleman.
Yes, awesome. So the first buddy team would mount up to the vehicle first, doesn't matter which order, long as it mounts to the vehicle. Then the vehicle commander mounts to the vehicle second. Then the automatic rifleman mounts to the vehicle last. So basically, by buddy teams, the first buddy team, which is the vehicle, which is the driver and the gunner, will mount up to the vehicle first, and then the second buddy team, which is the vehicle commander and automatic rifleman, will mount up to the vehicle. However, always remember that the automatic rifleman is the last one to board into the vehicle. Is the one of the reason for that. Think about the weapon system that he has. He's able to release more rounds than a regular rifleman can, so he's able to basically protect the crew or provide suppressive fire while the crew gets back inside the vehicle, and then take off from wherever their hot position they're in. Alright, any questions with the buddy teams, the vehicle positions, and the mounting sequence?
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright.
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright, point out something very significant. Is basically your vehicle security. Now, at time of mounting and dismounting, your automatic rifleman is always the first one off and the last one in the vehicle because he is able to provide the highest amount of security. Now, like I said to you earlier, is that the auto rifleman has the biggest, has the better weapon system within the squad, which is that M249. So he's able to send out more rounds than a regular rifleman can. So he's able to provide the most highest level of security with them be able to mow down any targets you see quicker than we can, or quicker than one single unit can. Now, when dismounted, the number one task of any element within the whole vehicle is to basically secure the vehicle and make sure it's in a perfect and safe position. So whenever you're in a convoy and you're doing a herringbone, like you see right now, the first thing they have to make sure is that the vehicle is either behind defilade, behind tree cover, or make sure that these vehicles in safe position in that herringbone. So if they're taking contacts, they're going to make sure the vehicle is in the herringbone, but behind defilade or behind a tree. You guys get what I mean? So your number one task when dismounted out of the vehicle is to make sure that you secure the vehicle and put it in a safe position. Yes, Corporal Hartman?
Thanks, Sergeant. Just quickly before we get too far away from it, I just wanted to quickly point it out for these guys. The RG-33, as we talked about briefly before, is typically the command element. If you find yourself in the back of an RG-33, it is in your best interest to stay as quiet as you can. You'll typically find Task Force Commander, our Dagger, and our UAV operator all in the back of that one Vic. So if you end up in one of those, keep it quiet. The same thing goes for most Vics. A lot of vehicle commanders like their vehicles quiet. It's easier for them to hear what's going on net. But just flagging that one real quick while we're there.
Yep, just about to go over that a few more sections later.
Roger, disregard. Thanks, Sergeant.
Alright, so we're going to the next portion, which is your soft dismount. So yeah, we're just going over the mounting procedures, mounting, dismounting, and then we'll go over convoy procedures. So the soft dismounting, wherever you soft dismount the vehicle, the second buddy team, or I should say, the buddy team with the AR and the fire team leader, which is what? Your vehicle commander and your
passenger.
Yes, there you go. Vehicle commander and the passenger will be dismounting out of the vehicle in a soft dismount. They will always do this if the vehicle is stopped for more than a few minutes, or just if they just transitioning to movement to maneuver. So the vehicle is stopped for a few minutes in a regular herringbone at an RP1 if the whole vehicle convoy is stopped at a herringbone at RP1 or whatever. And they're pulled off to the side of the road and on there for a few minutes. It'll only be a soft dismount where just the vehicle commander and the passenger will dismount the vehicle. And then if there's another if there's another fire team in the vehicle, they'll dismount as well. Now moving on to the next dismount is hard or combat dismount. In the hard combat dismount, that second buddy team will dismount the vehicle along with the driver. So the AR, the fire team leader, and the rifleman will dismount the vehicle. Now, when you dismount the vehicle, this is mainly meant for if it is longer than a few minutes. So we're going to be out there about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We'll do a harder combat dismount. And this will be usually designated, will usually be told to you by your squad leader and then to the vehicle commander, and then they'll radio that to you guys. Now, whenever you're hard dismount, make sure the vehicle is be able to set and provide overwatch as a crew serve weapon, which is your static weapon on top. Make sure that 50 cal or that grenade launcher is set in a good position. Is the most capable it can to provide security to the infantry element and along with the vehicle itself as well. Alright, so a hard combat dismount cannot be done unless it is set to provide overwatch for everyone else and for the crew. So you can do a hard combat dismount if the vehicle is in the middle of the road, because guess what? The driver's out of the vehicle. So you can't do a hard combat dismount. On the hard combat dismount, if the vehicle is in a good position where it can stay forever, so the driver doesn't have to worry about getting back into the vehicle for that set of time until it's time for the vehicle to go back to be mobilized. Any questions with the hard combat dismount?
Negative, Sergeant.
Okay.
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright, lastly is the full dismount. Full dismount means everyone dismounted the vehicle, driver, gunner, and your vehicle commander and passenger. Now, I'm putting some real quick. If you look at our demonstrators right now, they're running right here behind Sergeant Margietta. That is just the AR dismounted the vehicle. Basically, it's just doing security to the rear. And as you can notice that when you dismount the vehicle, you got to make sure that you can't just stay right on the vehicle like what I'm about to do right now. Don't dismount the vehicle, stay right here. Because if an RPG hits the vehicle, you're going to be within the blast radius and you can get yourself down. These vehicles are mine resistant and ambush protected. They are MRAPs, however, they're not meant for the people outside the vehicle, they're meant for the people inside the vehicle. So it cannot protect you from the RPG blast if you stand near the vehicle. Now, so you gotta make sure that you're fanned out a little bit away from the vehicle, and then along with the AR to the front of the vehicle, as you can see, he's spaced out a little bit further. So we notice that these guys are able to actually do 180 security to the front of the vehicle and to the rear of your vehicle, and as you can see, with the proximity not only being to the rear of the vehicle, he is able to also route security towards the left or the west side of the vehicle at the same time, which is why he's diagonally to the southwest of the vehicle. And along with the AR, with him doing security to the front of the vehicle, he's also able to do security to the east. That's why he's fanned out a little bit like that. So as you can see how their sector of fire is set perfectly, as you can see from here. So they can watch security from both sides at the same time. From the left and from the rear, and from the front and to the right of the vehicle. That basically shows you a 360 security around the vehicle. And then it goes for the same thing for each dismount, as you can see up here. Oops, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Right. As you see right in front of you right here, an actual simulation or demonstration to show you of the actual convoy herringbone. As you see how these guys are a little bit fanned away from the vehicles, providing security. And that's what you see in the soft dismount. Alright. Now let's move on to number one thing. Number one thing you'll never want to do is that you can never leave your vehicle in an unsecured location in a combat zone. So if you're in a combat zone, you leave this vehicle unsecured and unmanned, you're leaving this vehicle to the enemy to be able to use. Happened several occasions where the enemy would just see a vehicle, even though they don't even know how to turn it on or move it, they'll figure out a way while they're trying to get inside the vehicle. Once they get inside, they're going to turn the engine on, they're going to mount that gun, and then they don't even know how to drive, so they're going to run into buildings, but at the same time, they're going to shoot you guys at the same time. So just imagine something going in circles around the road, shooting at you guys while they're trying to handle the vehicle. So don't leave this vehicle unmanned in a combat zone, because enemies will take it and then use it against us, and you'll think it's friendly, but it's actually shooting at you and it's an enemy. Now, if you're wondering what to do with the vehicle, never leave it unmanned. Keep it with you at all times. Never leave in a combat zone. But if you have to leave the vehicle, and if the ammo is out of the, if you run out of ammo and then the vehicle is no longer useful for you, then just put a demolition block at the rear of the vehicle, at the front of the vehicle by the engine compartment, and then the vehicle go and blow up and go catastrophic. That way the enemies can't use any of the components in the vehicle. Or if the wheels are already disabled out of the vehicle, empty out the rounds on the turret, so they can't use any of the rounds in the turret. Any questions?
One question, Sergeant.
Yes.
When you say empty the rounds of the turret, wouldn't that give your position away in that scenario? Or
You're already in a combat zone.
You're already in the gotcha.
Yeah. So like I said, within a combat zone, and you need to get rid of this vehicle, those are things you would do. So yeah, you're already in the combat zone. The enemies already know where you're at. You just empty out the ammo out the vehicle so they can't use it anymore.
Copy.
That's only the case if the tires are already disabled, or if you don't have any demolition block.
I'll do that.
Yep. All right, move on. All right, so move on to the your basics, the convoy procedures. Alright, first things first, once you're mounted into the vehicle, so y'all already know how to mount the vehicle and dismount the vehicle, you're going to set your convoy net. So your convoy net would be 50. So let you guys write this down again. The convoy net frequency is 50. So, you're going to go into the vehicle, you're going to set up your long range radio by pressing Control cap locks. Sorry, not Control cap locks, sorry. Alt and Papa. So you're going to press your Alt key and the Papa key at the same time. That'll bring up your long range radio. And it's almost going to look like the same interface that your short range radio has. You're going to go to, you can set your frequency to 350. Once you've done that, you press the enter button and your frequency has been set to the long range radio, or the convoy net. Now, in each convoy, in each vehicle in the convoy has their own call sign. The first Vic, their call sign is first Vic. Second Vic, call sign is second Vic. The third Vic is third Vic. Fourth Vic is fourth Vic. Fifth Vic, and so on and so forth. Now, the last Vic in the convoy, their call sign would be last Vic. Now, within the convoy, there is a convoy commander. That's the person in charge of the convoy. He's the one that gives out the orders of the convoy movement, whether they move or stop. It gives out the speed of the convoy, any other orders that needs to be given. Now, within the convoy commander, each vehicle has to do radio checks with the convoy commander. So the convoy commander knows that each vehicle is ready and can hear any of the movement orders that he gives. So in your radio checks, just as you do your radio checks within your fire team, your squad leader, you just say, convoy commander this is Vic 1, or first Vic, radio check on frequency 50. Same thing you'll do within your radio checks. Now within the convoy, with your radio, it is advised for you, if you're within a regular squad vehicle, which means just a squad inside of that vehicle, not in the actual command vehicle, it is advised for you to put your long range to speakers so that everyone else in the vehicle can hear everything that's been called out. If there's anything like either enemy movement, if the gunners see it from other vehicles, that way the infantrymen know where the enemies are at when they dismount the vehicle. However, when you're in the vehicle, you do not know where the enemy contacts are at, because guess what? There's no windows on the side of the vehicle, unless only where you can see contacts from the rear of the vehicle through these rear windows right there. So you don't see any contacts, so you can't say contact left, because there's no way you've seen it that there be any windows. Only gunner can call out contacts. Not contacts, but give out a spot report, and only the driver can give out a spot report. Now, like Corporal Hartman said, now when you're in a command vehicle, you should not put the long range radio on speakers, because you have basically the HQ element in there. So they have to listen through their long range and listen to their short range, talking to the other squad leaders at the same time, trying to talk to convoy net. So they don't need to hear it through their long range and hear it through the vehicle's long range. So you don't have to put the vehicle long range into speakers. Everyone's tracking? When you're in a vehicle, also make sure that you're set to cargo intercom. To do that, you do interaction, and then you hover over intercom, and then it'll say crew or cargo. Just hover over cargo and release. If you're the driver, vehicle commander, or the gunner, then you'll be on the crew intercom. Alright. Now remember, communications within the vehicle is very loud, so you mainly be talking over your squad net or team net, or you be talking, on yelling. But if you're in the HQ or command Vic, you shouldn't be on yelling, you should be on whisper. And you keep your comms to a minimum. Alright, move on to your routine call-ins and combat call-ins. Routine call-ins, within the whole convoy net, all people should be speaking is the first Vic and the last Vic and the convoy commander. And this is what you will call as in routine call-ins. Routine call-ins would be basically the turns that you're making, the speeds that you're doing in halts. So the first Vic would say first Vic turning left, and then the last Vic would say last Vic turning left. This way the convoy commander knows that every vehicle is turning left. He doesn't need to hear everybody else saying turning left. If the rear Vic says turning right, then he knows that there's a break in the convoy and something happened and all the vehicles out of location. Then he has to speak to all the other vehicles within the convoy. But those are your routine call-ins. On the first Vic and last Vic will speak. Also, the first Vic will say first. If the convoy commander gives out speed, first Vic will say first Vic moving at 30 kph. The last Vic will say last Vic moving 30 kph. This way he knows the whole convoy is moving at the same speed altogether. And then lastly, with the halts, the first Vic can say halt. He can say first Vic short halt, herringbone left. This way, on the first Vic and last Vic can call a halt because they're the ones who can see if there are any enemy vehicles up front or from the rear of the convoy. So they're the only ones who could call out halts. But the main person who's allowed to call a halt is your convoy commander. But the first Vic and last Vic can call a halt if they need to. Now, your combat call-ins can be if they spot an ID or any other spot reports. So if a second Vic saw an ID that first Vic didn't see, they'll say, there's a second Vic ID on the road, advise a short hold or whatever. So those are your combat call-ins. If they spot a enemy vehicle or any enemy infantry, they'll put that part of their spot reports. Now within the convoy, you have your sectors of fire. First Vic, second Vic, or all the other Vics in the vehicle will have their own sectors of fire where their turret should be pointing towards. So the first Vic, his turret will always be facing towards the front, and the last Vic, his turret will always be facing towards the rear of the convoy. Now, if this was a 4-vehicle convoy, the first Vic will facing towards the front, the second Vic, he'll have his turret facing either the left or the right. Then the third Vic, his turret will be facing either the left or the right, but it has to be the opposite of that Vic in front of him. And then the rear Vic will be facing towards the rear. So altogether, first Vic facing front, second Vic facing left, third Vic facing right, last Vic facing the rear. There are 6 vehicles in the convoy. The first Vic front, second Vic left, third Vic right, and then so on and so forth to the last Vic gets on towards the rear. So you guys get what I mean by sectors of fire. And if you're in the center of that convoy, your turret should be facing the opposite direction of what the vehicle in front of you is facing. Understand about that? Alright. Alright, now within short halts and long halts. Short halts, you should make sure that your engine is still running. If it's a long haul, your engine should be turned off. The reason why it should be turned off is that people may need to hear if there are any vehicles sneaking up on them while they're there for a long time. We have having vehicles by enemy vehicles. And then for short halts, the reason why you need to leave your engine running because we're getting back to the vehicles soon to resume the movement. Now, while you're in base, your turret should always be facing towards the air. The reason for that is that you don't want to ND and actually shoot any friendlies that are on the ground, or shoot any other vehicles with your turret. That's why it should always be facing towards the air. Now you're probably saying, "Wait, Sergeant, I thought Sergeant Major just told us that our Gatling gun should always face towards the ground in the airframes." Yes, he did say that. Now, the reason for that, reason why you're allowed to keep your turret face towards the air inside of these ground Vics, because these Vics will be in a mortar pool. They won't be on the actual airstrip. So you don't worry about someone actually NDing and hitting a airframe. So as you can see right now, we're imagining this is a mortar pool, and this mortar pool is further away from these friendly airframes. Airframes will face towards the ground because they're on an airfield further by other friendly airs. So you guys get the concept of why different vehicles and airframes will be having turrets facing different ways.
Yeah, Sergeant.
Yep. All right. Now, vehicles, just like infantry, vehicles move. When moving and maneuvering, they work the same as just infantry do. They can use formations, they can provide base of fire, and etc. They can bound with each other. Now, convoys are controlled the same way as infantry squads do. They have their higher echelon they have to respond orders with and listen to. They move when they're ordered to. They communicate their movements, and etc. etc. Any questions with convoy procedures and vehicles? Mounting and dismounting out of our friendly vehicles.
Negative, Sergeant.
One question, Sergeant.
Yeah.
You probably already said it, but that's stupid. Would we have more training once we get in a squad about
Yes.
dismount? Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say soon enough your squad leaders will give you training on how to dismount and mount into the vehicle.
Just convoy net and long range radio and all that fun stuff.
Oh man, looks like I'm gonna be cutting out here.
All right. Yeah, we'll go over. Yeah, your squad leader mainly will go over that, but usually, I'm sorry, your team leader, but just something that will happen within your old time being billeted.
User disconnected from your channel.
Yep. We have to go to CQB today because this is day 3, and we're overtime at 2200 right now. You guys have enough time to stay on for about 10 to 15 more minutes to go over CQB and mount.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right.
I think he.
Yeah, DC did wait for him to get back. Hey, Mac Allen.
I'm here. Oh, but my game is about to crash.
All right. Are you able to stay on for about 10 to 15 more minutes for CQB and mount?
I can. I'm going to just restart real quick. Is that okay?
All right. Yep, that's fine with me. But yeah, done. If you want to, while we wait, you can go ahead and go into follow me. With long range, it can be accessible through the driver, the gunner, and the vehicle commander, or the person that's in the front passenger seat. Hop into the driver's seat. You should see driver. Alright, press your Alt P. Press Alt P. Or Alt Papa, I should say.
Other?
Press Alt Papa. Let me know.
Okay.
Yep. So when you press Alt Papa, so basically click clear. You should see menu clear. See that button? Click that. And then type 50. Don't use the pad on that interface. Use the pad on your keyboard. So type 50 using your keyboard, and then press freak, which should be the button you use to hit enter, or basically set the frequency.
Copy.
All right. Now once you've done that, to communicate over long range, you press control cap lock.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
To communicate through long range, to talk on long range, you press control cap lock.
Oh, copy. Control cat lock.
Now, to speak, to put your long range on speakers, you go ahead and press. You should see the button that says load or 0. Click on that. It should put your long range on speakers.
Where do you see? Where was that again? I'm sorry.
So go back to your long range by pressing Alt P, and then you should see where it says load or the 0 key. When you hover over it, it should say speakers. Just left click on it, and then it should put your long range on speakers. And on your bottom right, it should say that it's speakers or not speakers or headphones.
Okay, gotcha. I see it. Okay.
Yep, and bottom right, it should tell you if it's speakers or headphones.
Speakers right now.
Yep. So that way, so that means if someone speaks on the long range, everyone can hear it in the Vic.
Roger that. Okay, cool.
I think you better hear me on long range doing something different. Alright, you can dismount now. Alright, follow me.
I'm gonna go over there and wait for him.
Alright. Alright, follow me. Since we do not have time to load in day 2 to go over CQP, we're just gonna use this building right here. and private. I pull in Private McAllen later on. But right here you see is your stack order, and basically that's the order that whole fire team would be stacked onto. So if an element come over here, Private done. Oh no. Okay, I thought you're losing connection again. We're losing connection. All right, so if an element was moving alongside a road, and then they see a building here that needs to be cleared, the fire team would say, "All right, team, stack on the wall." If you notice, the whole team would be stacked on the wall. Now, the way the stack order goes is that you have your rifleman, fire team leader, grenadier, and then your AR. Now, sometimes that's in theory how the stack order would be, but sometimes fire teamers and squad leaders will make them interchangeable, as where they have their AR be the point man, as he's able to shoot multiple
User
rounds
joined your channel.
than a regular infantryman can do.
AR would normally go front then.
AR would be normally towards the rear, as you see right now.
Okay.
Yep. Now within your stack order, everyone's have their own sector of fire and security. So what the appointment would be, his sector of fire would be straight front and towards the door.
Oh, let me get you some here.
Alright, Mike Allen's here? Oh, here we go.
Let me get you something that you can get it out with.
I can hear you, Sergeant Smith.
Alright, yep. Alright, so in front of you right here, this is a stack order. When an element has, so through MOUT, like we said, you know what MOUT was, military operation. An urban terrain. Basically what happens is that as you see an element moving down the road, and with the moving down the road, they got eyes on a building that needed to basically breach and clear. What happens is that team leaders can give out the orders and say, "All right, team, stack on this wall, get ready to breach the door." Now within a stack order, what's going to happen is that you have the guy that's taking point is the rifleman, then your fire team leader, then a grenadier, and then the AR at the rear. Some people like to make this interchangeably, where the AR would be at the front of the order, front of the stack, as he's able to shoot out more rounds than the rifleman can, and the rifleman would be at the rear of the stack order. However, in theory, this is the way the stack order would be. So wait till you off at Arsenal so you will write this down. Once again, the stack order is the rifleman in front, the fire team leader as the second guy, grenadier as the third guy, and the AR as the fourth guy, or I should say the last guy. Alright. So, yes, go ahead.
You're saying when the order is set and you're putting up against the wall, when you say stack one is ready, or how do you?
You just say stack on, the fire team would just say stack on the wall. Excuse me. And they all will stack on the wall as you see right now. Now within the stack, everyone has their own sector of fire, like I said to you as well earlier, Private Dunn. The point man or rifleman, his sector of fire is basically direct front, and his sector of fire is the doorway as well to engage in contact that tries to run out of the building. And then the the fire team leader, or second guy in the stack, his sectors of fire is basically off the shoulder of the point man to his left, and then to a 45-degree angle. So based off the right shoulder of the point man for a 45-degree angle. Then sector of fire, 90-degree angle. Then sector of fire for the grenadier is basically the left-hand shoulder of the AR, or 45-degree angle, to a 90-degree angle off to the left. So if I rifle, my rifle will be pointing from here to here. Practically will be pointing from here to here. And then lastly, AR from the rear, his sector of fire is from 45-degree angle from here to here, and then if there's contacts engaging us from the rear of this building, from here as well. I heard someone has to say something? Was that probably just me? Alright. Now as you can see how these guys are a little bit fanned off the wall. They don't want to be too close to the wall or hugging it, so they can be able to... Well, that's Mac Allen, isn't it?
User joined your channel.
Welcome back. Alright, so the reason why... Say again?
listening.
Are you still in the game?
Nope, it's gonna kick me out, but I'm listening.
Okay. Alright, so the reason why these guys are a little bit fanned off away from the wall is to allow the guys in center to be able to engage the targets in front of the guy. Engage targets in front of him. So this point man, if him being fanned off a little bit, he's able to engage targets up to here, this sector, to support the point man whenever someone's coming up from this corner. Now, along with the Grenadier, he's able to engage targets up to this area to support his AR. Now, in addition to that, to break immersion, the main reason why they're fanned off the wall because so they won't clip into the wall to where the contacts, sorry, not the contacts, but the enemy infantrymen that are in this building will know that they're in there, and they will start shooting through that wall, even though they will won't go through the wall, but they don't know that they're breaching in there.
Can I
Go ahead.
interrupt one quick? He's getting Steam authentication. Is that his DLLs he should be getting rid of?
No, what's happening right now is that his internet, it's just with when his internet, he loses connection, then the game just kicks him out of the server.
Alright.
Still listening.
So yes, now you also notice how these guys are crouching, correct?
Hey, firm.
So the reason why they're crouching is because they have a little danger zone right here, which is this window. They don't want the enemies that are inside this building to know that they're breaching this whole breaching the building, I should say. So they're gonna crouch to make sure their head or anything is not showing through this window, which won't alert anybody in there, because they need to keep their element of surprise. All right. So with the point man, he also needs to make sure that his rifle will be pointing out of the doorway. So if this door was actually open, and his rifle was actually pointing up, you got to make sure that his rifle is not pointing through this funnel. And you guys know what this funnel is called? This doorway.
Danger zone? Oh, no.
It's called a fiddle funnel. Reason for that is because basically a whole bunch of rounds will be going through this funnel of the doorway. So you'll be going off as a cone shape. So they come out from here to here. Almost like a cone.
Knows where you're coming in at, but you don't know where they're at. So they already have the fucking upper hand to you, so it's the fatal funnel.
Alright, so once the whole order is stacked and everyone else knows that they're not losing their element surprise, and then one of the reasons for the reason why you don't want to make sure your rifle is ticketed out, because if your rifle was basically your male part, would you want your male part being shot off? No, you don't. So make sure your rifle is not pointing, is not being shown through a doorway or through any entryway. Now, everyone's head up to the wall. This gives the fight team will tell the point men, alright, point men and riflemen, go ahead and pie the doorway. I don't have a rifle with me. Sergeant Margiotta? No, he doesn't. That's just his
Won't mind.
radio. Huh?
Won't mind.
No, I want you to disarm yourself now. Alright, so the way you're gonna pie this doorway. Oh, no, he has a pistol. There we go. So you're gonna fend off away from the wall. So like with Sergeant Margiotta is that the point man will basically do that. He'll fend off the wall and then he's gonna pie it. Well, when he pies the fatal funnel, he's gonna pie it to a point to where he's right here. He doesn't want to cross all the way to the fatal funnel, but it's gonna be hard for him. It's gonna be hard for the point man to run back. He has to be over here by himself without no protection. And basically now, this basically brings two people watching the doorway and no one watching this corner. So when he pies his fatal funnel, he's gonna go up to this point, even though he's gonna be blind from whatever is at this left-hand corner, but at least he sees what's on the right-hand side of this building, and that from this sector right here. McAllen, are you on? Make sure you're on. Your T-Far is disabled, so you can still hear.
Alright, I'll take care of that.
Alright. Once he's pied the room, he's gonna move back. His initial job is basically to give out reconnaissance. That's why he's pieing the doorway. The reason why he's fanning off away from the doorway so that he'll be able to see. This way he could lead with his body, not with his barrel. Because he would lead with his barrel, then the contacts could see his barrel before he could see them. So he's gonna fan out. He's gonna lead with his body, along with his barrel. So his barrel and his body could be online, basically at the same time, peeking the doorway. So once he saw everything, he moves back to his position, his original position, and he's gonna give out his reconnaissance back to his team leader. So he's gonna tell him, all right. The room looks empty. Have no eyes to my left-hand side. I got doorway straight front of the entryway. That's his reconnaissance. From there, the fire team will make a judgment of what kind of breach that they will need to do. So within the kind of breach, he'll figure out the 3 breaches, which is either normal breach, which means they just go in, or you have a non-lethal breach, which is your flashbang, so toss flashbang in there, or the lethal breach, which they toss a grenade in there. With a non-lethal breach, non-lethal breach would be mainly meant if there is contacts inside a building, inside contacts, enemy infantrymen. I did not see you when you pied the doorway, and you did not for sure if there's any civilians in there, so you'll toss a flashbang, or if you saw a hostage in there, then you'll toss a flashbang in the room. And a grenade is basically if you know there's contacts in there and there's no civilians in there and the contact just engaged you, then you can throw a grenade in the room. Now, with grenades and flashbangs, you breach in a room as soon as that grenade or flashbang cooks off. So once it blows up, once it cooks off, then you breach in. Normal breach, you have to wait from the point man to actually push in. Now, before that flashbang or that grenade gets tossed, what happens is that once the fight team leader says, all right, we're doing normal breach, he's then going to say, all right, go ahead and say that you're set. So what's going to happen is that the point man, he's going to say first man set or 1 set. Second guy, he's going to say 2 set. And then that third guy is going to say 3 set. And then that last guy in the stack order, he will say last man set. Now the way it goes is that whoever's the last man in this whole stack order, they're the last man. So this was a 6-man breach. A 6th guy won't say 6 set, he will say last man set. Understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
So if it's 2-man breach, what would that second guy say?
2 set. Last man set.
Last man set. Right. Private McAllen, you understand everything I said earlier?
Yeah, for last man set with
all right.
normal non-lethal and lethal breaches.
Yep, this is for all the breaches, non-lethal, lethal, and lethal. Now, when you're being told to call your set or save your set, you should automatically go ahead and stand up and bring your rifle to the front. But you're not gonna flag your partner. What you're gonna do is that your rifle is gonna be touching the right shoulder of your partner. So you only call set when you're facing to the front and your rifle's touching the barrel. Your barrel is touching the right arm of your partner, not letting him know, but now you know you're set. So you're ready to breach in. Don't call set and you're still looking towards the rear, because then the first man already pushed in and you're still back here watching security when everyone's already inside the building. Alright, so everyone's got the attention to the front, they already caught their set. Now if this was a lethal or non-lethal breach, what happens is now the fight team here, he's gonna be one throwing that grenade or that flashbang. Reason for that is because we don't want that point man to keep his eyes off the doorway. So if someone runs out the doorway and the point man's doing it, the fight team can't shoot because he doesn't want to shoot his point man or his brother. So make sure that the fight team is one or the second guy in that stack order is the one that's throwing the flashbang or the grenade. Now since he deemed it as a non-lethal, since he said this was gonna be a normal breach, what's gonna happen is that since everyone's faced towards there, he'll just tell on the point man, alright point man, go ahead and breach. From there, the point man would say, going in, going left. He's gonna go in the side that he was not able to clear out. So since he saw nothing on the left hand side, he couldn't see anything. He's gonna breach in the side that he wasn't able to see. Reason for that is that if he goes in and goes right, and he knows the right side's clear, but he knows nothing about the left side, he'll get himself downed. So he has to be the first one to breach in that side. He wasn't able to see what was in there. Guys, get what I'm saying? So if you're the first man to breach, don't breach in a part that you know was clear. Breach in a part you don't know is clear, so then you don't get yourself down, and then whoever's coming in behind you down. All right, so you can say I'm going in, going left, come inside the room. You can say going in, going left. You're gonna go in. You're gonna put your attention to the front of the room, and then you're gonna bring attention to your corner, to this corner right here. If you're the first man or second man. You're always going to bring your attention to your corner that you're going in. So if I'm going in right, I bring my attention to the right-hand corner. So I'm going in. Imagine I have my barrel right now. Going in, going left. Go in. Barrel's facing towards center room, and then immediately to the corner as soon as I pass that doorway. If nothing is on this corner, my attention goes back to center room. I'm going to go back to my corner until I'm to the corner, and I'm going to stop here. Then I'm going to sweep the room again to make sure it's clear. Once again, for anyone else is going in. Now, if you're second guy, you do the same thing. You're going to go in, I'm gonna go do this walking so it looks a little bit better. You go in, pow, 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 melee attention to the right hand corner. You can check behind this doorway. If there's nothing at this corner, check behind the door. Make sure no one's hiding behind there. And then your attention is back towards the center room. And then you can sweep it again, the second sweep. Guys, get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you go right here.
No, you stop right here. Yep. All right, so do that demonstration real quick. So go ahead and breach in the room. So make sure you call out going in, going left, then going in, going right. All right, do it whenever you're ready.
All right, ready, done.
Ready.
Going in, going right. Going in, going left.
Going in right.
All right, awesome. All right, so one thing I gotta make sure is that whenever you're breaching in, your barrel is on fully automatic. Maybe you got a laser, turn on your laser so you can be able to improve your accuracy. And then lastly, make sure your rifle is always up. So you can press your Charlie key so your rifle will be pointing up the whole time. And the rifle will be pointing towards the ground while you're moving. Sometimes you gotta mess around with that because your hotkey might be different from what mine is. So mine is just default regular Arma 3 hotkey. Alright, so when you're breaching through this doorway, do not stop. So if you're being engaged by contacts, don't stop here and shoot at them because then you're going to get down. You're stuck in the middle of the doorway. Friendlies can't drag you because if they try to drag you, they're going to get shot by the contacts. And then friendlies can't continue to clear out this building, which means that you're left in a dead zone and there's no way of getting medical treatment for you. Now, if there's an entry point from the rear of this building, then they'll breach in from there. But if there's no entry point, then these guys got to figure out how they're going to breach inside this building with your body in the doorway. So, if you're being engaged by contacts, continue shooting at them, and then continue moving though. If the contact sitting in this room, you're the first or second guy, you're going to shoot that contact sitting in the room, and then bring it to the corner. Now, if you're the third or fourth guy, you're going to breach in the opposite direction. So that first guy goes left, second guy goes right, you're the third guy, you're going to go left. So your attention is going to go to the center of the room and nothing else. Because that guy to your left is already, have already checked that corner to his left, and has already swept this corner here as well. So your attention is basically sent to the center of the room, and you're going to get halfway from a doorway and then from the guy in the corner. So that's basically where I'm at. And then the fourth guy, same thing. Attention to the center of the room and get halfway to here. Now the reason why I told you engage target center and then immediately bring attention to the corner once you reach that doorway is because your third guy and your fourth guy and that second guy will be able to engage the contacts in the center for you. So if you go in and engage the contact in the center and then immediately bring attention to the corner, and then the second guy goes in and brings attention to the guy in the center and brings it to the corner, then third guy center, fourth guy center, then the center should already be clear by the time everyone breaches in. And then the guys in the corners will be doing their second sweep around the room. So everyone gets the concept of breaching this building?
Where's that, Sergeant?
Alright. Now, normally the pace you'll be going in won't be walking like this. It'll be a combat pace you barrel up. So can you guys do that real quick? You can press the Charlie key, make sure your barrel's up. There you go, you guys got it. There you go. Alright, awesome. That's basically the way how you can breach in the building. So then you can move at a good pace, allowing the guys to get in there quickly enough. Alright, come back outside. Alright, the guys in charge of the left hand corner and the right hand corner, the first guy in and second guy in, they're the ones who will call their side clear. So first man, second guy will say left side clear, and then the second guy will say right side clear. And then the fire extinguisher or whoever else will say room clear. Normally, just second guy will just say room clear.
Roger.
So if second guy said his say right side clear, then that first guy will just say room clear. And then from that point, the team reconsolidates. So basically, you guys stay in your own position. But what the fire team is going to do then, he's going to basically going to figure out where is the next breaching point, which is basically this doorway, and they'll just move on and stack up onto that doorway again. And what will happen is that you got to make sure whenever you're breaching compounds or buildings, you stay alongside the wall. Never move across the room. Reason for that is if there's objects in the room and they're running between the room, you're not able to get an angle on the guys hiding behind those objects. That's why you move across or move alongside the wall. Alright, any questions?
Negative, Sergeant.
Any comments? Alright, I want to try this as a two-man breach.
Yep.
Alright, this will be dry fire, so you don't have to worry about having magazines inside your rifle. Alright, so you start from the beginning. Everyone's stuck up towards the wall. You have your sectors of fire. Since there's only 2 of you, that means that done where you're watching.
Right here. 1 o'clock.
It's only 2 of you, so you have to do a 360 security or 180 security. So there you go. You're watching the rear, and Mac Allen, you're watching the front. There you go. All right. So try to do it from this side since it demonstrates the body. I want you guys just at least be on the wall.
All right, Alpha team stack on the wall.
Last man set.
No, you don't call it your set yet.
Oh.
You're already set in the wall. Fire team should be seeing that you guys on the wall. All right. What do you do next now?
Prepare for normal breach.
Nope. You're gonna pie the doorway. So fire team will tell you to pie. Make sure you watch that window because you don't want yourself standing up by that window. Fan off away from the wall. Remember I told you that? You got back up away from the wall so then you're...
I don't think he was in here. I think he got disconnected during all that.
Oh. Probably was. Alright, Mac Allen, back up for a second, show you real quick. So if I had my rifle, I'm gonna do this walking pace, it's more easier for me to do it. So make sure that when you stand up, that window doesn't see you, and your barrel's not pointing towards the wall. You're gonna fan out away from the wall a little bit, and then you're gonna pie it then. You get to here, about center of the doorway, you don't want to cross all the way to the federal funnel, because you want to be able to move back to your original position. So the contacts won't be able to shoot you, and you won't be engaged from both directions. Then you move back to the wall, and then give out your reconnaissance. The reason why you got fanned off away a little bit away from the wall, because that way you won't be leading with your barrel, you're leading with your body and your barrel at the same time. So Don, you want to go ahead and show him real quick, or at least show me that you know how to do it as well.
I'm gonna try.
Yep. Move a little bit more, because you're by the window. You don't want to stand up by the window. And move up right here. There you go. Go ahead, buy it. Stop right there. Nope, don't move all the way across, because then you're going to engage from both directions if you weren't able to engage. Yep, that's good enough. And then you move back. And then you kneel back down, and then give out your reconnaissance.
Room clear.
No, you just say the room looks clear, because you don't know if it's actually clear or not. Room looks clear. You got a doorway to the direct front right of the entryway. Just give out your reconnaissance of everything you saw. That's why you apply the doorway a little bit slower so you can see everything. Alright, go ahead and do the stack again. Alright, try this again from the top.
Alright, stack on the wall.
Last man set.
I'm gonna pie the door.
Copy.
Alright, room looks clear, 1 door.
Copy.
Prepare for normal breach.
And then you tell them to call their set, so then they can say when they're set. So,
Prepare for normal breach, calling your set.
so since you're just only 2-man breach, you're the first man, just say 1 set, and he shall make you know that you should say last man set.
1 set.
Last man set.
Point your barrel to the front now. You need to watch security anymore. You're getting ready to breach.
Going in, going left.
Copy.
Going in,
right.
going right.
Going in left.
Alright, come back outside.
Right. Left clear.
Come back outside.
Yeah, said.
Remember I told you, whenever you're calling your sets, when the first man said he's set, everyone should start, like I said, you guys stand up now, and bring your barrel to the front. Because you want to breach in and crouching. You want to breach in standing. Alright, try that again. Back just to the point where you're calling your set. So say first man set, and then last man set. Start from there.
User disconnected from your channel.
Probably guess you couldn't stay a little bit longer then.
Oh.
At least you guys got the
What's that?
fundamentals of breaching then. Yep, CQB and mount something that fire team and squad leaders practice on every single time. Which is why no one can ever be perfect with it.
That's too much. I need to go stop right here. Correct.
Yep, halfway, yeah. You don't want to go across the
I
federal
don't know
funnel.
why I try to go. I feel like I'm trying to corner all the room.
Yep.
Gotcha. 1 set.
No, you're good. There's no one with you anyways. We'll see if you get it on day 4.
Ready to breach. Normal breach. Going in left. Left clear. Right clear. Normally you wouldn't do it as a one-man team entering a house, correct?
No, you do it. You never breach in by yourself. You gotta have a buddy with you.
Buddy.
Yep. All right, you are formally dismissed because we are 30 minutes overtime.
All right, I appreciate y'all's time.
Yep.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. But you wouldn't breach the building by yourself. You always have it with a buddy.
Right, you'd always have a buddy team or anything like that.
Well, I mean, fuck, since we here, do y'all want to try, y'all two go in and breach a fucking building that's got enemy in it?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's get back here, fellas.
Probably don't want to demonstrate he's getting shot because they're out there.
McAllen, fucking just. Alright, since you kitted up, you wanna go in with them, Private Gillen?
No.
I didn't catch that.
I think he said no.
Right now, so.
Alright, give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get a gun, I'll go in with you.
Take that freaking thermal off. There we go.
Yeah, now you got your close combat optic. Iron sight.
Yep, that thermal is no good for CQB.
When I go in breach, I just use my lasers when
Can I
usually
lock
when I
and
breach.
load, or do I wait?
Yeah, lock and load. Smith,
Mhm.
Sergeant Smith, you have Deuce?
Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna go in, I don't want to see
What's in there?
where I'm putting guys down, yeah.
Well, if y'all are both carrying saws, I'm going in last.
Oh, he's going with a saw? Oh, hold on, no. Make sure they don't shoot me.
Yeah, I didn't put it down just yet.
I'm closing the door. What the fuck? Okay, so apparently I'm not going in because I cannot interact with the building.
I got this. Let me see if I can fix this. Probably because you put it down, I'm probably sure. That's the reason why.
Yeah, see, even though I added it to Zeus, I still cannot interact with the building.
Oh. Yeah, one
I'll
time.
I'll walk through walls and shit.
Yeah, same here. I one time I couldn't climb the HQ tower. It makes you walk right straight through the stairs.
Yeah.
Are you ready now?
Roger.
Yeah, why not?
Alright, Harmon, do you need it? Do you want an optic or no?
No, it's fine. I'll just suck it up.
Alright.
He's got a laser and iron sights. It's not like he's
Disabled.
Plus, I'm gonna miss anyway, so this at least is I have an excuse.
Oh, I automatically put someone on what the? Where'd he go? Yeah, I put someone on second floor now for some reason.
Alright, well I got first floor.
No, I got it.
This sucks. I really wanted to go in.
What's wrong?
No, it just sucks that fucking like walk through walls and shit.
Oh, you can do it?
No, I just like my body don't even step up on the ground. I just like pull some Beetlejuice shit.
Yeah, blackjack.
Yeah, don't just stand around. Alright, everything's dead. Oh.
Don't breach just yet.
What's wrong?
Was
So-
I not supposed to shoot?
No, you're supposed to breach in from the front, not from the rear.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just.
Yeah, I'm trying to put them on balconies.
Okay, gotcha.
Alright, we're good. You can breach now if you want.
Alright, everybody on me? Moving.
On you.
Door. Stacking up against door.
26.
One set.
2 set. Wait, just to do it with this last set.
Opening door. Stand by. Door in the middle.
Roger.
Prepare for a normal breach. Going in left.
Going in right.
Moving.
Right's clear.
Left clear. Left clear.
Doorway front. 1 set.
Last man set.
Opening. Got stairway front, plying it. Back up. He's down.
Down. Covering.
Managing on a flag.
Copy. Hold.
I'm up, let's go.
Right looks clear. Going in left.
Roger. Going right. Right's clear.
Moving upstairs.
Roger.
Door on the right. Up. Balcony on the left.
Roger. I'll hold security on the door behind you, you take the balcony.
Copy. Going outside.
Roger. Ready to open?
Open. Oh, you open.
No, you take it.
Copy. Open door. Left looks clear. Behind the door.
Frag. Plant a grenade. Yeah, that one.
One guy back here to the right.
Roger.
Flashbang. Flash, flash, flash.
Tagging it. That did not work out. Civilian as a meat shield is a cheap trick.
Down.
You got him?
Yep. Checking behind the door.
Roger.
Room clear. Checking balcony.
Oh, that's too funny.
Clear left. Going in right. Balcony's clear. Bandaging. Stand by.
Holding security. Roger. Oh yeah, push him down. All clear.
Actual, this is Alpha. I got one hostage.
Nice job. They probably done an excellent job when Hartman was bandaging himself. You held up the doorway. Nice job on that.
Thank you.
From the point you guys are reaching upstairs, I guess one round hit you. I don't know how that one round downed you, but yeah, that definitely downed you. And I started just shooting up in the air.
Well, it was kind of my fault because when I threw a flashbang or a stun, I think it was stun.
No, it's not your fault.
I was prepared for him not to be,
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to see, and I just rushed in there, and then.
What I did was I looked towards the wall.
Copy it. Okay.
Yeah. That in real cases they will be flash. I just looked towards the wall. And I just hip fired one tap. I didn't know that was gonna actually down you or hit you. I was just shooting I was trying to shoot the corner of the door so then you at least get the pressure of she being suppressed.
Roger.
But yeah, some reason I guess I accidentally hit you. I was turning.
Oh, it was fun.
So I just started hip one tapping so Hardman won't get in. All right, but yeah, that was excellent. Excellent job on my side. And then you got Sergeant Marciata.
Nope, not that I've seen. It was fun for what you did. So just keep practicing. Once you get billeted, it'll get better, faster. Yep.
Hardman, did you see anything? Did you see that guy, or did that guy throw a bad frag?
Oh, there was definitely a frag. I heard.
Yeah.
I heard the frag.
told me to get back.
It seemed to almost explode fucking downstairs or some shit. So I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, there was a guy downstairs. I think he did a bad frag and fragged himself.
That'll do it then.
I thought you saw me. You said frag out, but I said well, actually, I don't think Hardman would throw the frag out.
No, he heard it, the pin pop, and then he said back up frag, and then I heard it downstairs.
Alright, yep. Well, you're free to go. I'm done, and they have a fun up if you want to join that as well.
Yeah, I gotta get a bite to eat, so I'll probably be on. I think it's already started in 15 minutes, right? I think
Yeah.
that's what it said. So it'll probably already start the time I get done. So.
All right.
Well, hey, I appreciate y'all's time. Thank y'all again.
Yep. See you on Thursday.
See you on Thursday.
Later.
User left your channel.
All right, that concludes day 3. See you guys on Thursday. Stream it again, same time, same place. I may stream on Wednesday. Maybe a fun up. I might send or earlier Thursday morning. I might send this fun up that's coming up tonight. But
User disconnected.
so then, see you guys. Stay frosty and be the perfect operator you can be.
I'm doing the paperwork right now.